Hey, welcome to the stream, ladies and gentlemen. I see a couple of you have joined. Appreciate you taking the time. I am finishing setting up some lighting here, and we'll get started here soon. Thanks for your support. We'll be on, and hopefully, we won't have the audio issues tonight with the game and with the audio through the microphone. I got a microphone proper set up here, so let me get these lights up, grab a brewski or two, and I'm going to start playing some Horizon Zero Dawn. Happy Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. It is nice to have you here. Welcome to my stream. It is great to be here. And I got to be honest with you, I never thought I'd say this. I'm excited about this stream here tonight. Trying out a new game, ready to check out what, by all intents and purposes, appears to be an objectively great game that I have talked trash on. I shouldn't say relentlessly, because as Mr. Frank Yeager so kindly put it. When I said I'll finally play the game that I hate, he thought I was talking about The Last of Us 2. So no hatred at all on any kind of level that approaches how much I despise The Last of Us Part 2. But I have for 4 years now talked about the stupidity, actually longer, because when I first heard about it, it was a couple years before it was released. Just the sheer utter stupidity, in my opinion, of this game. Robot dinosaurs in a fallen world never was for me. As I said in the video I released yesterday, I'm all for people that like this franchise. I'm all about good games and, even bad games. If you're out there and you dig what's an objectively a bad game, who cares? Play games, love the medium, and enjoy it. It's not up to me. It's not up to anybody else out there to tell you what is a game you should or should not play. So let's start off with that. But I would be lying if I didn't say I've been very, very, very rough on this title. from a conceptual standpoint. Would never talk down on Guerrilla Games. I think they're fantastic. And they've made Killzone, a lot of other great titles. Excellent developer who's appear to have a bona fide franchise on their hand that a ton of gamers worldwide really, really care about. And I think that's awesome. Sony PlayStation exclusive, all for it. But I still can't believe I'm sitting down and playing this game. It's because of you folks out there who have asked for this. I thought it was a really good idea, actually, to take a preconceived notion and then run it through and see what comes out on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Horizon Zero Dawn, as I mentioned in my video, from start to finish. And I'm going to release another video that's kind of going to be a review of it from my perspective, but see if I've changed my tune a little bit. So welcome to the stream. Appreciate you taking some time to hop in. I might play something else here tonight as well. We'll see. Maybe a little Nier Replicant. We've had some requests for Nier Replicant, so we'll see how that goes. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start the night because it's Friday, and I don't do it too often. I'm going to go ahead and crack a brewski and fill up this awesome Denver Broncos original glass that my fiance, really my wife, bought me 10 years ago, just about. Now, let me be clear. For those of you watching, I am not advertising or suggesting that drinking is cool or something you should be doing. Drink in moderation. Enjoy if you're going to do it. And if you're of age, all that good stuff. There's nothing wrong with kicking back in moderation. And I am not messing around tonight. I am drinking Double Dog IPA, which is 12%. And I'll probably drink maybe 3 of them throughout this stream. My words might get a little slurred towards the end. I'm just throwing it out there right now because it don't take much from these to get a nice, humble, and non-excessive buzz going to start off a Friday night. So let's kick off with a brewski and we'll get started. I could use your help tonight, guys. If you could let me know how the audio is, if it's too loud, let me know how that how that's impacting you, and I can try to make moderations. I think in my streaming journey, as I've kind of started making YouTube videos and now doing streaming and trying to kind of coordinate both of them, it's been very difficult. I think the audio piece, the most difficult piece of this for me is the audio engineering, how this microphone works, how the game audio works as it's coming through the capture card into my PC, and how to balance those things. So if you cannot hear me or you cannot hear the game, just do me a favor, hit that chat button down there. I'll see it pop up on my screen and I'll be able to see exactly what to do and what you're thinking. So again, thank you guys so much for taking the time to spend with me. As always, it means the world that, anybody, let alone you folks, would take the time to listen to what I have to say about games and to spend any amount of time with me when you could be off playing yourself, or even in the case if you're at work somewhere tuning in, you could be tuning in elsewhere, or working. But cheers to all of you out there. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your kind words and your patience as I've really taken some time to get off the ground here. But this is something I want to do every week, that little 5-minute or less video to start until my editing gets back up to snuff, where I have more time, and following it up with the stream every week. So next week, I think I'm going to talk about Wasteland 3. For those of you out there who have any level of interest in Wasteland 3, just buy it. Unless you're on a base PlayStation 4, but buy it. If you've looked at it, if you're looking for a new game to play, a new RPG, if you're looking for something that's not your Call of Duties, your Horizons, right, your huge major AAA titles, Wasteland 3 might blow your mind, and there's so many reasons why. But recently shelf that, at least until the DLC comes out this summer. But again, thank you guys for spending some time with me. And if you're new here, this stream's a little bit different, I think, than most gaming streams, in that it's going to be kind of half a podcast like this, where I'm just chatting with you and ranting and raving and all that good stuff. Often I go on rants, but I'm just going to be talking with you, and then we'll also have periods here where I'm going to be playing games. I'm going to be talking as I play. I talk a lot. So if there's anything that you want to see or any questions you want to ask me, whether it's about the game I'm playing, whether it's about a game that I own that I don't happen to be taking through the spins or spinning that disc in the PlayStation, let me know. I don't play PC games very often. I've had a lot of people asking me about what's my PC knowledge. I'm strict for the most part console gamer. have always been, always will be, most likely. But I do have a pretty basic PC that has kind of been calling my name a little bit here lately, just because I know now I can use a controller to play that to play those games on PC and don't have to do WSD, all that arrows, all that good stuff like it used to back in the day, like talking like the 90s. But if my audio is coming in clear, let me know. Otherwise, let's get started and take a quick sip here. Cheers to all of you out there. Oh, man, that Mad Dog. That Mad Dog is no joke. It is good. And just make sure the lighting here is sound. I think that, that light's a little bit too bright there. I think that's a little bit better. What do you guys think? Yeah, this light up here is a little bit harsh back here. Let's see if I can take this back here a little bit. Now there we go. We'll keep it there. All right, so Horizon Zero Dawn. By the way, this chair is very loud, so I'm sorry ahead of time that you guys have to sit here and listen to all those creakings. But here we go. Let's do this. I'm pumped. I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited. Just to see if I'm gonna have to eat a lot of crow or not. And we're not going to find that out tonight, because the game could start off strong and then it could, go off the rails and become not very good by the end of it, or it could start off poorly and then just turn into a fantastic title as you kind of play through and it opens itself up a little bit. Some games do that as well. But the one thing I will say that I'm very excited about is on this TV that I picked up just specifically for the PS5. I do know that Horizon has just beautiful graphics. I've heard nonstop about how beautiful the game is. And those of you out there who know me know that I'm not a big fan of, I shouldn't say I'm not a big fan. I don't put a whole lot of stock into graphics, right? And there's a reason for that. Graphics can enhance an experience. They also can, it could take away from the experience a little bit if they're not great, right? Near Replicant, for instance, is phenomenal, despite the fact that when it originally came out on PS3, it looked like a PS2 game. And now, even with the remake, it looks like a very low grade PS4 game, if that. So that takes maybe a little bit away from it, but it doesn't make a good game, right? You can have a great game like, The Binding of Isaac, for instance, is one of my favorite titles, indie title. Graphics aren't great. They're hand drawn, I think. They're simple, but they're awesome. And it doesn't at all impact whether that's a great game or not. And maybe that's not the best example off the top of my head, but when we think about kind of the other way around, when we look at something like Killzone Shadowfall, which is one of the launch titles, I believe, on PS4, and it was just beautiful, but ultimately poop for the most part. I mean, it was shallow. It was more of a tech demo than anything. So you get my drift. For those of you who are here watching, it's not like I'm talking to a whole lot of new people, but you know all this already. So my apologies if I'm kind of beating a dead horse at this point. But let's go ahead and select our language. We're going to roll with English, of course. Do I want to display the subtitles? Yes, I do. If you guys can hear the audio mix here and it sounds good, let me know. If I'm coming through too loud, again, just give me some feedback so I can pick up on what I need to do. Wow. The particle effects pretty stellar. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That looks good. I should be streaming this in 4K. I've kind of been doing it at 1080 just because I don't want people chugging at home if they're That's a cute baby, man. That's a Gerber baby, man. I like to see that baby's face slapped on a bottle and serving up some food. Music's cool. This is pretty neat. This has got a very Nord feel to it. Kind of God of War a little bit, which God of War didn't come out till the next year. But this is 2017, I believe. God of War in April of 2018, and I literally have chills. It, like, the game looks so good in the sound and the music. Like, that was a moment there when that giant freaking leg came back down. I, oh, it's so stupid though. I'm sorry. The concept just doesn't. We'll see. We'll see where they go. Not judging early. Seeing robot deer with a headlight, ultimately what I'm looking for out of this is a great experience with great gameplay. I want good gameplay. If I'm not into the story, if I'm not into um, kind of the environment, as long as the gameplay is on par, if the gameplay is good enough, I'll play a game despite disliking every other aspect of it as long as two things are there: gameplay itself and music. I put a lot of stock into good music. So right now I'm really digging the opening tune that we're hearing here. Oh, don't drop the baby. I remember when I was taking my first daughter up at an amusement park alongside of stairs to take her down a slide, and I was terrified because I had her in my arm and there was just this big drop. But it was the only way I could take her up. And oh man, they're pulling some Lion King here. Oh, that's so cringe. I'm sorry. The whole Aloy thing is. It's kind of how I feel about Kojima when he names characters Hideo Kojima. Characters like Die Hardman. Ooh, so creative. Grab a pillow here for my lap. There we go. Starting off with a bit of infighting. Cool. So I'm sure we'll find more about that ritual and what it's all about. Probably the marking, and that's a beautiful shot right there. I'm digging that. Well, the opening is pretty solid, decent. I mean, it's. I do like how that transitioned right into the title screen there. That's cool. It's kind of difficult to, this game has its work cut out for more than even I think it did originally if I had played it in 2017, because at this point, I've played God of War, I've played The Witcher 3, which to be fair came out 2 years before this one, but even so, one of the best games ever. A lot of these, epic grand titles, Ghost of Tsushima. Oh, in fact, I'm kind of breaking a rule right now for some of my subscribers and my friends here who wanted to see me and have been asking me to play this game. I kind of made up my mind for a while there, so we're gonna hop back into Bauer Babel here. Kind of had made up my mind there that I was not going to play Horizon or start it until I beat Ghost of Tsushima, which I'm ashamed to say I still haven't beaten. My earliest YouTube videos, I think I did 2 of them on Ghost of Tsushima. My first ever live stream, I did Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm still only in Act 2, near the end of Act 2. Got to get to Act 3. I kind of gotten to this point where I was like, I'm over open world games. It's real easy to get burned out on open world games, just like other genres that kind of lend themselves to burnout. First person shooters, yeah, that's another genre that it's very easy to kind of overplay and need to put down for a while. So, you know, as great as Ghost of Tsushima is, and it's absolutely stellar, it is a worthy swan song for the PlayStation 4 and really the last entire, as far as I'm concerned, generation of consoles, period. I just wanted nothing to do with open world games for a while. Played a lot of Shadow of War, which was great, a bit repetitive. I think my biggest concern with this is, in addition to the whole robot dinosaur thing, which I can't. I won't go down that path tonight, because I don't want this to just be a bash fest, and I want to be objective. And that's one thing that with me, you'll always get. I'll cut through the BS of things. I'm able to kind of take my personal feelings about a title and set them aside, even if I love the game and it's not necessarily the best game that's out there or a very good game. I can still kind of call those things as I see them. Hell, I played Trials of Mana on stream a couple weeks ago, and that's a 7.5, maybe an 8 game. But I like it more for certain reasons, which I explained at the time. I don't think we really live in a day and age now where you're going to get a whole lot of objectivity. You're not going to get a whole lot of straightforward analysis of things. You're going to get people who are being influenced by whatever third party, right? Whether it's a developer or a publisher or a certain gaming publication. You know, there's any number of reasons why people aren't objective. And I see it when I scroll through YouTube and I check out different people and their reactions to different things. And I'd say literally 75% of them come off as just totally fake and phony. And a lot of them have sponsors, so they're kind of dictated what they have to say about something. I will never, ever, or as Chris Jericho would say, ever do that to anybody here. It doesn't matter how small I stay or how big I ever get doing this. I will always give my opinion and my opinions only, but I'll also be able to kind of divvy out objectivity and let different types of gamers know who would like what this particular game is doing versus who would not. And then if you're interested, my personal thoughts on it. So yeah, I was not expecting, you know, right in the opening scene there, back to Horizon. Now I'll get off my soapbox here. Was not expecting to get chills. That scene was actually really cool. The music kind of swelling there, pretty neat. Hopefully you guys can hear it. If you could let me know, actually, if you can hear the game audio, that'd be good. Or I could just actually let me check here and make sure that we can hear it, because I can check it on YouTube as well. So I should probably be doing that. I can check it on YouTube as well, so I should probably be doing that. Yeah, so it doesn't sound like the game audio is really coming in all that much, so I'm going to go ahead and crank it up in the background here on the actual TV. Might be able to hear that a little bit better. That might be the way to go, at least for tonight, while I figure out some of these audio quandaries and I still continue to kind of work through those issues. But at least tonight, I think the microphone audio is good. We're off the headset. We're ready to go. But I see 3 of you have popped in here already. Again, thank you so much for taking the time, for your support. Early indications after the first cutscene, much better than I anticipated. I did not expect to have a really cool experience. But also had some of that cringeworthy stuff where they kind of like Lion King'd the kid, like, ah, and the sun was coming up, and then the tribal people came up and were like, what are you doing? And I mean, I've seen that 20,000 times. But again, like I said, games are about so much more than just a story. Like if the story isn't there, but the gameplay is, oftentimes that's what I mean. I mean, like, do you play Contra? The old school Contras, right? None of that new garbage. Do you play Contra for the story? No, you don't. gameplay is what reigns king. So we'll see what's going on here. I can deal with some cringe. Okay, I can deal with some cringe, but yeah, like I said, the game's got its work cut out for it because we've got Ghost of Tsushima now recent in my memory banks. We've got The Witcher 3, God of War. Admittedly, fairly different games, but all open world, at least to an extent. So let's hop into a new game here. We're going to go with, I like to start my games on hard, but I also don't want to be just dying over and over and over, because that sometimes does happen. You guys probably saw me playing Tony Hawk a few days ago or a few weeks ago, and it was not good because I was trying to do way too much. So we're going to hop in and we'll just play normal. And that name Aloy is just... Game looks absolutely gorgeous on this television. I wish I was streaming it in 4K, but
ooh, that's a lot of berries. You're quite the gatherer, aren't you, little boss? Now go and see if you can find some more.
I love the vocals, man. The vocals and the music are great. I've always dug the angelic type of stuff, you know.
Children, come with me.
Oh, dude.
To be shunned.
So I got two little girls. That I don't like that. I do not like that at all.
Come on.
Ooh. At least she gets angry and it's not just... Holy crap. That's quite the tumble. Yo, am I going to be playing as a child Aloy to start the game? That's... Can roll with that.
Down here! Frost!
Yo, if like every character in this game is some like if their name is some kind of derivative of, like Rost instead of Rust, Aloy instead of Alloy, Mercurium instead of Mercury, that kind of thing, I'm going to be extremely annoyed. All right, the particle effects are out of this world. This looks beautiful. I'm looking at it on my screen here, and what you guys are seeing is nowhere near as vibrant and beautiful, unfortunately, is what I am seeing. But once I get a little bit more mature with my streaming and how I'm carrying these things out, maybe I'll get to the point where you can see exactly what I'm seeing. Batman. All right.
Looks tight, but I can get through.
All right. Oh man, it's gonna be tough just because I'm playing so many different games with different controls right now. Let's see. All right, good. I was gonna say I can I switch? So typically the first thing I do is if I don't like the way that a game controls the first thing I look for is at least different settings for the controls, or the ability ideally to kind of map them. I'm playing Ys 8 right now, which for those of you who've never played the Ys franchise, fantastic. Seriously, pick up Ys 8 if you ever see it on sale. It's a great game. And the first thing I saw in that game was, I didn't really like the controls, whatever. I was able to go in and pick up, go in and pick up new controls and map exactly what buttons I wanted to how I wanted that game to play. They didn't have presets, right? I like when they kind of give you both options, presets or the ability to select whatever you want to map your buttons to, but it doesn't look like we have that here. What's up, Frank Yeager? I gave you a little bit of a shout out earlier today, my man. Yeah, starting with some Horizon, man. Decent start to it. still some cringe, but the game looks just absolutely stellar. As I'm kind of moving around right now, I'm liking the movement. It's got some weight to it, and this is also a good look at how the game's going to perform on PlayStation 5, because I am playing on the PS5 here, and I've noticed that it just seems extremely responsive. The load times have been extremely minimal, so I think that's, other than the haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers when they're done well on this controller, the biggest benefit to having a PS5 right now is the way that it plays PS4 games, which is significantly better than I expected it to be, by the way. It's like medical tubes or what? Man, the game looks beautiful. I don't think it's quite God of War level, but it's definitely a looker. One of the better looking games I've played here recently. I wonder what that is in there. It's probably, if that's like a mini map, like Metroid style, I'll lose my mind. I love auto maps. Not mini maps, auto maps. I am drinking a couple brewskis tonight, some very heavy 12 percenters. So I might get a little tipsy here over the course of the next couple of hours. So apologize ahead of time if that happens. Don't drink, kids, by the way. It's only cool if you're an adult and you're doing it in moderation. Let me just throw that out there. I guess this is more of a linear section. Sorry if this is a bit boring right now. I always like making sure that I'm not missing any collectibles or those types of things. And really, what I'm looking for here is for this game to stand out in some way, shape, or form from any other, or every other rather, open world game that I've played. Because I have this one as well that I'd like to play here at some point, which I played briefly, and it looked absolutely amazing for the hour or two that I played it. Where is it? Where we got here? Anyway, it's Days Gone. So Days Gone on PS5. I put it down because I was like, I can't handle another open world game right now. But I did play a couple hours of it just to see how it played on PS5, and just the work that they've done to legitimately optimize that game for this new technology should be commended. I mean, just an incredible job by the dev there. Let's see what we got. Oh, water fountains. All right. Water bottles. One of those auto bottle fillers, which I've never used successfully in my life, despite working in a place where they're everywhere. They always overfill. It drives me nuts. But that's neither here nor there. Is it just me, or is that corpse like way too big in scale or relation to Aloy here? All right, let's see what we got. So it's funny, this game's free on PS5 now, or PS4, one of the two. And, well, it's the same. But I picked it up for $9 last month. Weird. You can't hear the game sound, Swasti, huh? That sucks. Well, if you can't hear the game sound, man, we got to change that up. So appreciate you letting me know. Let me see if there's something here I can do. All right, let's see. Source, system sound. See if we can change this. No, I don't want it to be that. Devices, config. Capture card audio, volume is all the way up. I don't know why we can't hear that. What I did was I cranked it up on the television here below so that we could hear that. Let's see. Yeah, I see both Jaeger and Swasti. Yeah, thanks for joining again here tonight. Let's take a look. I think I might know. Actually, let me try this here again. Swasti, how am I coming through now, man? I mean, well, as far as my mic volume, it's good. Yeah, it's not blowing your ears out. You're okay there. Let's see. System. Blah, devices, So like I said, again, this is my biggest issue right now, guys, with streaming is the audio. If I could get the audio down, I think I could start putting out great streams. Yeah, camera is good. Let's take a look at the capture card here, how it's displaying. All right, settings, I don't want to spend too much time in here. All right, so this is probably going to solve it. Let's see, capture card audio, digital audio interface, game capture, HD60S Plus. I think we just figured out the issue. All right, do me a favor, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you can hear this better now. Because if you can... How's that?
Lights everywhere. How does it do this?
So she just picked this thing up off a corpse and stuck that in her head. It's kind of nasty, kid. I mean, if you're growing up in a dilapidated, ruin-filled world, I guess manners aren't necessarily, or things aren't taught. She's 6, so I'm not going to argue too much, but. Yeah, that's some kind of thing right there. This is going to bring up some different things. Is there any interactables here? I'm sure once I get out into the open world, this will be a little bit better. As far as the non-linear nature of this right now, I just kind of want to be able to start looking for collectibles and doing some different things. But
a metal door, closed. Maybe this device I found can help.
See right there, that kind of thing drives me nuts. So far, I'm really not impressed with the script or with the writing, which again is not the end of the world. But that's a perfect example. You don't need to say that. You can that's kind of implied by the cutscene that we just went through. That's one of my pet peeves. And again, that's a nitpick. That's not the end of the world.
How do I get it open?
Oh, Metroid Prime style. I like that. That is very reminiscent of Metroid for me, and lacking a Metroid series right now. This is good to see. What's up? What's up, C. Flynn 146? Robot dinosaurs. That's right. Cringe. I had one moment earlier tonight, though, actually, where I got a chill on my arm from seeing something cool in the opening cutscene. But all right, so let's use this.
More lights.
Oh, I see what's going on here.
A shape. It's connected to the door somehow.
Okay, Swasti, can you hear the game audio now? Up against my voice, man. I think that setting I changed should have worked. Looked like I had to select something there that I didn't have set. Man, the visual, the 4K and the HDR right now on this is just, it's excellent. I mean, I'd put it at a level below God of War and Ghost of Tsushima, but not much else, and that's a massive compliment.
It changed color.
Yeah, the music so far, the high points have been the music, and I haven't really played or done anything yet, so I'm talking about high points already. I've been playing for 10 minutes. But right off the bat, high points, graphics, the weighty movement.
The door changed color too.
really like what's going on here. It's, like I said, reminiscent of Metroid, and that's always a good thing. But we'll have to see how this plays out. Negatives would be, so far, story's a bit lame, kind of cliche with the script and that kind of thing. Touch this. It says that's audio. Can I interact with this? For the love of God, let me interact with you! It turns in, is that like, it makes me wonder if that's like a director's commentary or something you have to activate somehow. Sometimes in games you can kind of see the audio symbol change, and then you'll be able to interact with it, and it'll be the director talking about something. With this being the complete edition, I could see that maybe being the case. Let's focus here. Let's focus. All right. Down the stairs. I'm going to pick it up a little bit, guys. So Frank Yeager, Tyler's, or C. Flynn, rather, and Swasty, thank you guys for taking the time again to hang out, and whoever else is out there and who's watching later, most appreciated. I'm already starting to get a little bit of a buzz here from this brewski. It's 12% double dogs, no joke. So we'll see how that affects things.
What's that?
Could you guys actually?
It's got a device.
Real quick before
like
I
the one
continue,
I
I can
found.
check my own stream. I don't have to. I just want to make sure once you can hear the audio sound that the mixture is good. Oh yeah, okay, we got it. Guys, I think I might have figured out my audio issues. So if you need me to balance it up or down, let me know. I'm happy to do that. Let's just make sure that we can do that when the time comes here. Let's look at the audio. Yep. Speech, sound effects. So I can turn all of these down if I need to. So I think we're cooking with gas now, guys. I'm going to be playing this for the next probably 3 hours. So let's buckle up, let's strap in, and let's go hunt some robot dinosaurs. I'm ready, man. Let's do it. I like the use of color right now with this. I'm really digging the kind of like the representation of technology in here, the purple and the blue, the different shades. Like the color use is really
Maybe
nice.
I should check the device.
I know. I just like to look at my environment, kid. Of course. Uncharted style.
You think I want it this way? It's the best I can do. He's right behind you.
Arkham
Hi.
Asylum style.
Happy birthday, Isaac.
Division style.
Daddy sure does love his little big man. Look, Daddy can't be there with you and Mom, but we can still have a party, right? Sure we can.
Cringe.
Show me. Show me again.
I can do. He's right behind you. Hi. Happy birthday, Isaac. Daddy sure does love his little big man. Look, Daddy can't be there with you
I
and
do
Mom,
really like
but
her facial
we can still have a
expression.
party, right? Sure we can.
It's cool.
Happy birthday, Isaac. Daddy sure does love his little big man.
Even though the voice acting there by the hologram dude was not good at all, the reaction by the 6-year-old Lloyd was I did like that. That was cool. Some emotion there. That felt organic, so that's nice. Let's get through here. See, I'm interested to see what differentiates this and sets it apart from other open world games, because I've just heard nothing but great things from you guys on this. I know the combat is probably the big standout. Everyone keeps talking about how awesome it is to hunt these different creatures and to take them down in different ways. There we go. So one thing that I absolutely love about games, one of the reasons that I really like the new Call of Duty as well, is I've always loved picking up files, whether they're audio files, whether it's Resident Evil style, or you're picking up text files, whatever it is. I'm down for this. So let's see what we got here. January 1st, 2066, partial data corruption. Let's see what we got.
Well, happy New Year, dear diary. Can you believe we actually celebrated last night? Well, we did. Kind of. Director Evans invited everyone to gather in the community room. Don't know where she got the party hats. That was a ghoulish touch. So there we sit, watching the clock tick down to midnight, and I'm thinking, am I the only one who gets the symbolism of this? It might have been worth it if Skylar had gotten drunk again, but I seem to be a mistake she doesn't want to repeat.
I saw them lining up in the community room. Like cattle in a slaughterhouse, but smiling at each other. Shauna handing out meds like being alive is some kind of pain to be eased. Well, not me. I don't want to go quiet. I don't want to trail off. I want a period at the end of my life sentence, none out of ellipses.
63 of these to pick
Hell,
up.
an exclamation mark. So if that upsets whoever finds
This
this,
is very Division-esque.
too bad. I don't know anyone, anything, anymore.
Yeah, this feels very much like they took some inspiration from what the original Division was doing, even though that original Division title is not what they said it would be, and that only became more of that, you know, how they had it in their mind's eye with the Division 2, which was so much better than the first one, but kind of, you know, using your device, I forget offhand what it's called, to kind of pick up these holograms and then replay the past. Very, very similar in this regard. So that's the door I came through. Let's get over here. Like I said, guys, I'm going to pick up the pace here. Sorry for being a little bit boring. Another audio file.
Why did they die here? What happened to them?
They're chasing the signal. So that symbol keeps bugging me out. It looks like something I can interact with, but it does. But then I bring this up and I can't do that. So, sorry. Let me hop back into the main one.
He found me. Ross found me. Down here. I'm
I do
coming.
like the 360 degree.
I'm coming.
You can move in 360 degrees, and you don't have to be standing still. Oh, it drives me nuts. You can, you know, other games when you start walking like this, it'll automatically clip back to behind you, and you can't see your character.
coming,
unless you're
Ross!
still from 360 degree angle. That's something that I'm happy to see here.
Oh, Mother be praised. Come, girl. Take my hand. You don't belong down there. Come. Such places are forbidden, Aloy.
I fell in.
They are of the metal world. What is that on your face?
Nothing.
Did you find it down there?
No.
Give it to me.
No.
Aloy, such things are dangerous.
No!
I do like the dichotomy between that little ruin down there and this open world Nord-like Viking type of
Well,
feel to it. It's
if you're gonna go
really
sneaking away from home, you'll need to know how to survive in the wild.
The dichotomy
Come,
is
Aloy.
very stark,
Home now.
but it works well.
Starting tomorrow,
It works a lot better than
learn
I was
to
expecting
hunt.
it to. And that felt like the Division meets a bit of Metroid Prime down there, which is definitely a mixture I can get behind for sure. So we'll see if they can kind of maintain that and keep these environments interesting. That's what I'll be looking out for, to see if, you know, everything kind of starts to feel samey over time, or if they are distinct ruins they feel good, a la Tomb Raider or something like that. That original reboot of Tomb Raider did such a good job of making every tomb feel different.
All these shaking. What do they mean?
take your bow.
Take it. So I feel with my kids with technology lately.
Oh?
And enough muttering to that plaything.
Eat your peanut butter and
We
jelly
descend to the valley
sandwich.
now.
Except that PB&J
Follow.
in this world is a bow. So guys, how's the audio mix for you? Can you hear me clearly with the game audio? Do you need me to turn the game
wilds
audio
can be
down a bit so you
dangerous,
can
Aloy.
hear me a little bit more? Or
You
is the
need to
mix
stay
just
close
right? Let me
and
know in
do
the
as I
comments
say.
there. Thanks again for taking the time to
No.
check it out. BauerKillz here on a Friday
Now,
night.
you're
Happy
still scratched up from
Friday
that fall you
weekend
took yesterday.
coming up.
So let's
For those
start
of you
there.
after work,
Take
sorry
this
about
medicine
that. Hope you
pouch.
have a good work
I'll
day.
show you how to
Work
fill it.
weekend. For those who don't, hope you get a chance to kick your feet up and relax. And
See this
safe and
plant
healthy
over
all
here?
days.
It's called salve brush. Come, gather its berries in your pouch.
Red Dead
Good.
Redemption style there.
Now eat the berries.
Transfer health and medicine.
Blech.
They may taste bitter, but they can save your life. Always keep your pouch full of medicinal berries, flowers, and plants.
Where are we?
This valley is just a part of All Mother's embrace.
I do love. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I wasn't expecting to be able to go right in the river and start swimming. The animation is really good. That swimming animation is excellent.
Aloy,
Maybe I'm not interested, bub. Maybe I want to get off and start exploring. So, by the looks of this game's going to be chock full of one of my favorite staples of any good open world game, which is landmarks that you can see at different parts of the map and kind of make your way towards them and get distracted along the way. I'm thinking like 10 Penny Tower and Fallout 3 when you can see that tower all over the world map, and then as you kind of move across, you get closer and closer to your environment to explore. Same with the Washington Monument. When are you going to kill something? That's a good question, man. I would love to figure out how to kill something. I guess I should stop exploring and just let this basic Nord view
Great.
through.
the Nord tribe watches these lands and keeps out the most dangerous machines.
Yo, bunny.
Usually.
Come back. I'm cute. All right, dude, pick it up. Let's go. 6. All right. You know how hard that is?
Further downriver, we'll find a herd of machines, and I will teach you how to hunt.
Are they dangerous?
All machines are dangerous, Aloy. Their power must be respected. But I will be beside you.
Oh my goodness, that looks amazing. Holy crap.
Aloy, a machine's coming. Crouch and follow me into the tall
All
grass.
right, here we go. Here we go. Thanks for letting me know, Swasti.
There. Now stay low.
Little one.
No, Aloy. Such machines are called watchers. You must learn to avoid their gaze. If you are to survive in the wilds, I will show you.
So lame.
Listen close and do as I
I
do.
can't. Man.
Stay still.
I can't.
Wait for it to pass.
So it's a very cliche.
Now keep low
wait for him to
and follow
pass.
me across the trail to that tall grass.
I get it. It's just a tutorial. I know, but I've done this many times. Uh-oh.
The watchers saw you, Aloy. You'll have to
Oh,
try
come
again.
on, man. I'm just trying to speed through the tutorial so I can get through it. Oh, you're going to make me do this again, man. I can just... I was hoping there would be some. I guess I'll take my time.
Now keep low and follow me across the trail to that tall grass. Oh, another one. Let it pass.
Oh, dude, come on. I feel like I've done this 1,000 times before.
Come, back this way.
I'll be interested to see how these
The slower you
things
move,
exist in this
the
game. If I
quieter
play
you'll
through this
be.
game and they just are like
crouched
accept the
walking
robot
is
dinosaurs
quieter than
exist
upright.
without telling you how, then I will be not a happy camper.
Wait for it.
I do like the gaze from the light. That's pretty cool. It's kind of like the beam from it, and it's got kind of like a misty glow to it.
That's the last of them. Let's move on.
Did the clouds move? That's like top 3 biggest pet peeves in games for me is if you don't take the time to make the clouds move, I don't have time for you for your game, and I will.
You did well. They didn't see or hear
They've
you.
been making clouds move in games since Super Nintendo.
Now stay close. That herd should be just ahead.
Never an excuse to not do that. I also hate when like you kill something and then you shoot the body and blood doesn't come out, and just it's the ground underneath. I'm sick. I might be sick, but little things like that. You know, little things. Oh, great. We got the feral demon thing going on.
Who's that?
Ignore him.
But why's he up there?
This is very Odyssey into the West style.
He's smiling at us.
Teb! Get back where you belong! Teb! Where are you?
Ignore him. We are outcasts, and he is of the tribe.
Maybe he doesn't like the tribe.
Yeah.
And he is a fool. Come now. Let's find that herd. Follow.
You know, I kind of wish, and I know that it's not. I know that, again, guys, this is a nitpick on my part. Oh, I kind of like how she stumbled down the hill there. Let's see that. That's cool. The little arm thing. It's, I kind of wish that there would be a way to kind of just skip through the tutorial and get, you know, kind of get started. Like, instead of it showing me that cutscene from killing her, I can just, like, brute force through
There.
everything. And they
See
be
them?
like, oh, well, you got to do
These
that
are called
next time, you're
striders.
allowed to move on instead of having to do it. Again, not a big deal.
Ha! Get!
But I am digging this, like, play as a kid kind of deal. It's kind of like playing as,
Why'd you chase them off?
kind of like the opening in God of War a little bit.
Show you how
except
some
from-
machines startle easily if they detect you and run away. They're best approached by stealth. Don't worry. We'll catch up with them further down the valley. You'll see. Now, I want you to find some rocks that fit the cup of your hand.
Why?
Do as I say, Aloy, and gather the rocks. I will show you how to use them.
Said-
Those will do. Follow.
Show you how much sound we make. Okay. Man, if this is one of those open world games where there's just pickups everywhere, nothing's gonna get done. I'm gonna spend the next 4 hours just doing this. With what you're watching right now, that's what I'm gonna be doing. I just feel like exploring to see if there's any collectibles here. So Flow Dog, man, yeah, I'm down to play something later tonight, man. After the stream, you just let me know how you're feeling. One of the people watching right now, my brother is awesome. Him and I have been playing a lot of Call of Duty.
Stop wasting
He
time.
picked up Call of Duty Cold War for me against my wishes because
Aloy,
I hated Modern Warfare at the Passion of a Million Burning Suns. And Cold War
Aloy,
was everything I
over
wanted
here.
out of Call of Duty in years. And I've just been having so
Stop
much fun
wasting
playing
time.
that. But also Ghost of Tsushima, him and I are going to take it for a spin and play that Legends mode, which
Aloy,
I haven't
come
tried
now.
out yet, but I'm all excited to check out. So maybe I'll
There's the
stream some
herd.
Ghost of Tsushima sometime
All right.
soon as well. And
It's
get
time
into
to
that
throw
mode.
some
We'll see.
rocks.
But
Any of you
rocks
guys out
can't
there
hurt
wanna play that, let
machines,
me know.
right?
No, but they can distract them. Draw them into traps. Like that watcher over there. It must be dealt with, or it will warn the herd and send them running before we get in range.
Warn them. How?
The machines speak to each other, Aloy. Unless they are first silenced. Now you stay here on the ridge. On my signal, throw rocks and draw the watcher over to me.
All right.
Wait for my signal.
So far, I'd say nothing really is standing out for me in this. Let's just take a quick break here. Hop into Bauer Babble because I got to crack another brewski. Definitely, a little bit better than I was anticipating as far as a bit of a cool opening cutscene and things. I'm not expecting to have any firm impressions of this and how I'm feeling about it. I'll give it about 20 hours. Because my understanding is this is probably, if you want to go out and you want to run around and do everything, it's probably a 100+ hour game. At least that's what I'm anticipating. And I know that you got people out there like, oh, I can beat it in 12. Okay, I'm a guy that takes my time. Like, okay, maybe it's not 100 hours for you. Maybe you can beat it in 60, 80, whatever. but I'm kind of taking the long haul with this. Right now it feels in a lot of ways very cliche. The tutorial, very cliche. We've seen and done this before. Kind of the enemies that we're coming across, even though they have a different visual look to them. Robot dinosaurs. They're kind of the idea of distracting them, and then like, you know, you having your dad or some kind of mentor who's showing you the ropes. It's all very par for the course, and yet there's something about it. I can't really put my finger on what it is yet. There's something about this that's making me feel like it's not as cliche as maybe I should be thinking it feels, if that makes any kind of sense, which probably doesn't. I really liked going into that ruin. I really enjoyed that. It felt like, as I said, the Division meets Metroid, and emerging from that ruin and coming out into this like fallen world, you know, and seeing kind of the metal spires on that cliff, which was really, I really like that. That's a unique feel, man. Yeah, that's a unique feel. I mean, we've done Fallen Worlds before. This has got some potential. I don't hate what I'm playing right now. I can objectively say it's cliche so far, but I'm having fun. I am excited to kind of get out and be a grown-up Aloy and start to, you know, be out on my own and just go off and explore. So we'll get to that point here. Let me crack this brewski, and we'll get back to it. Thank you guys again so much for taking the time and watching the video yesterday. Again, my goal is going to be to try to get one of those out every week and then stream as well. So it's just been so cool seeing you guys all hang around. I've got 93 subscribers. That to me is just, I don't even know what to say to that. If I never got another subscriber in all the time I'm going to be doing this, which is going to be as long as I can, which I'm just assuming I'll do this for the rest of my life, as long as YouTube's still around and all that kind of thing. Just to have an outlet to rant about games that I like in the industry. It's just been so cool seeing, just seeing you guys engage and talk with me. Like I love this medium so much. And let's say that I end up hating this game. It's everything I thought it was. The concept never works for me. I can never take it seriously. And even though, let's say, the gameplay is great, whatever, it's just simply not for me. That's totally fine. I will still probably come out on the other end of this and say this is an excellent open world RPG that will offer you these things. I'm not going to take what my personal opinions, if that were to be the case, and turn it into, you know, don't play this game because it's crap, or like have some kind of hot take or whatever. I'll kind of have both takes on it. Here's why I dislike it versus why you might love it, and why I objectively think it's worth your time and money, even if maybe for me it's not. I'm really looking forward to seeing what plays out here. So let's get back into it here and get past the tutorial, and hopefully I get a bow and some type of weaponry. I actually don't really know what to expect because everything's so primitive, but she picked up this little triangle that's super advanced. So maybe we'll find some old world, maybe we'll pick up some old world weaponry here, and we'll get to create some fireworks with it. I think that'd be pretty sweet. So let's get back into Horizon Zero Dawn and see where we go.
Aloy, throw a rock near me.
I spilled my brewski. I just spilled my brewski like I was.
Throw a rock to draw the watcher towards me.
I drank it and set it down and closed over. All right. Let's distract this little bow.
Throw a rock near me.
I did not throw it where I thought. Oh, I have to hold it to aim. Okay, cool. Cancel the throws out too. Works. All right, Pops. Sink an arrow in its dome. Or get up close and personal. All right. You are Connor's hero. Yeah, let me tell you something real quick. Sorry, guys. I know I'm starting and stopping. You guys are probably getting annoyed. You're like, just play the game. Listen, there are a lot of people whose opinions I care about. My nephew is at the top of that list. So, Flow Dog, you tell Connor he's my hero. You're my hero, man. Love you, pal. Thanks for taking the time to look and watch some games. All right. So I threw about 4 rocks there. My dad's probably so embarrassed.
Come, girl. It's safe now.
It's safe now. It only took you 4 times the amount of rocks I told you to. I'm so embarrassed. Oh, it'll buff out there. It's going to buff out. Oh, there's so many collectibles. I am, at the end of the day, a very basic player. If you give me an action, like a prompt to pick something up, that's all I'll do. Triangle, happy. Triangle, happy. Triangle, happy. Like, literally, I will pick up rocks all day.
Harvest a kill so I can teach you how to make arrows.
I think these guys are taking it seriously. Any longer. Oh, check out the fireflies. It's cool. All right, so we got some more Red Dead Redemption style here. Harvesting. I'm down.
Harvest a kill, Aloy. Pay attention.
All right. Shards and the sparker.
Use the stalks as arrow shafts and metal shards for arrowheads.
Oh, we're gonna craft now again. Very. This is very Last of Us. Pressing. Yeah, so I'm seeing now. I'm seeing that they're picking up from some of the other games that are out there.
Good.
Definitely Red
You'll
Dead
never
Redemption.
run out of arrows if you know how to craft what you need.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a bow.
Let's put those arrows to use.
Yo, that
Follow.
sounds good. Yo, Flow Dog, here we go, man. Time to start killing some stuff. Man, that was beautiful. Man, that looks good. Oh man, that's gorgeous. Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna lie. That's absolutely stunning. What that looks like right now on this television is just. I never believed in hypnosis. Face to face with it. That was a cool little moment there. If this is one of those open worlds like Ghost of Tsushima where you just have like those moments where you just stop and wander.
Stay low in the grass. And it is time to make your first kill, Aloy.
All right, Flow Dog, here we go. First kill.
Strider. One of the weaker machines. But even a weak machine can kill a hunter.
Thank you all for taking the
she's
time to hop
careless.
on in. I
You must
appreciate
study
it.
it.
Happy Friday night.
Its hide is thick, but there are
We will
spots
see
where
over
it
the
is
course of the
vulnerable.
next couple of months where this game makes me eat
Can you guess
an
another?
unbelievably large amount of crow, like a little smirk. Press R3. Of the heretical over enemies. Okay.
The canister on its back. Is that a weakness?
Yes. How did you guess that?
A device. It showed me.
That did.
That plaything? Stop playing games. Now, take down that Strider. Target the eye or the canister. And if it charges, be ready to
Oh, don't
roll
worry,
out
Pops.
of the
You're not
way.
gonna miss.
Hit! Keep firing! Hit! Keep firing!
That was actually really satisfying. The aim felt really nice. It felt somewhat challenging, but it also felt not too challenging. Like I'm going to miss a time. I'm sure that's going to change a little bit later. That was really nice feel to it.
You did well today, but you have much to
So
learn.
I'm starting to now see.
Tomorrow, we train again.
Actually, let me do this here quick before I do that. Get him off there. Let me take off my notifications just in case one day I blow up and everyone knows my name and they see my old videos and the people that I know. I should have turned off notifications ahead of time. Let's take them off. There we go. Sorry about that, people who want their privacy.
What was that?
That boy. The one running the brave trails.
Follow
I love
Aloy,
the scale
quick!
of this valley. I know, we get it. I'll read it. So I'm just hoping the combat's satisfying. If we get a game here where the combat is just stellar, I'll play it just for the combat. The combat and the music right now is kind of what I'm very, very way too early first impressions are what I'm gravitating towards right away. The story I don't think I really care much about. The concept overall, I'm not really digging it now. But it's It's also not quite as cringe as I was expecting, except for maybe a little bit earlier in some of the early cutscenes. Yeah, man, we are putting those arrows to use. Let's put some more to use, Flow Dog. Oh, how about we put them to use to this guy? I do like the design with the lights having all the different like circles inside. That's cool.
I can do nothing. It's only a matter of time before the machines find that boy and kick him to death. But if I shoot, it will cause a stampede, and it will trample him.
Alright, I'm starting
But
to
I
dig
can see
this.
the
I'm
path
starting
they
to dig
took.
this little,
Stop telling stories.
Fisher Price head and head jack.
I'm not. I can sneak through.
You will not.
You basic ignore Dad. I got this.
Aloy!
She's got spunk, man. I do dig so far her character. And her little smirks and like she knows she's being a royal PETA, but she's.
You need to move slowly, quietly, so I can sneak past.
Let's totally invisible here. Alright, this is pretty intense. Cool. This way.
Can't let them see me.
Oh, I lost her. I just realized I lost her. So if you think I'm not gonna harvest stuff while I'm out here doing this, you're out of your mind. It's what I do. I guess I can't really sprint here. If I do, it'll cause too much noise. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, guys. My heart's kind of going just a little bit. This is cool. This is cool. I'm liking this. I'm always a fan of like stealth stuff. Alright, let's see. Let this guy come back. I probably could have made it in one fell swoop. Kind of like my driving ability, I always wait too long. And my wife is always yelling at me because there's a car like half a mile away. And I'm like, just let it pass. Or her. I just let it pass.
Got to be careful.
Like, these are machines, man. What are they eating? Like, that to me is... You're not eating anything. Stop pretending to eat. Right? If there was, like, ore there coming out of the ground that you could harvest or something, or you're just, like, munching on some metal, all for it. But just the fact that they're chilling out, eating grass as a machine, I can't. Go the wrong way. It doesn't. It's not looking. Let's see what happens.
I need to see their paths. Almost there.
This game is beautiful. And I know, I've known that about it.
There he is.
What's up, bub? Tab.
Hey,
You're about 2 letters off from your real name there, buddy.
how is this? Follow me.
How do you know to avoid them?
This is gonna show sure that this will get more complicated when you're building them and you can see through bushes. And
How are you doing this?
How am I doing this? That ain't mofo, Ted. That's going to be a little bit too far, I think. Probably just go straight across here. Let this guy roundabout. Come straight across and make my way back. Probably make my way back. I'll be interested to find out once I get let out to this open world and see. I'll play around and see what kind of range they've got with their sensors and that kind of thing. Cool beans.
So, it is no plaything.
Yeah, Rust. You think your 6-year-old daughter's lying to you?
Wait. Oh, Mother, bless that girl. Bless you both.
Boy!
She saved me. I just wanted...
Boy!
Seal your lips. They are outcasts, both. And she is motherless. Come now. Back to Mother's heart.
Dude, that upsets me, man. I hate that whole shunning crap. It's a 6-year-old child, man. Ooh. Ooh. You got lit up.
The
with
boy
the
should not
backhand.
have spoken to us. It's against tribal law. We'll go home now. Follow.
I know the way.
Dude, human decency, let me tell you something. Human decency is inherent, as far as I'm concerned.
Seal your lips.
You know, like, it doesn't matter if this, like, yeah, that'll, games that do that kind of thing, like, that's always effective to me. I get into it when it comes to that kind of thing. Whoa, somebody just, ooh,
Stay away, no mother.
beat him. All arrows. What? All right, so let me just stop right here for a minute and just look you guys in the eyes. I had absolutely no idea that there was choice like this in the game. Emotional flashpoints? I mean, I guess it's a basic... I wonder if there's multiple endings. I guess it's just kind of like your basic choice. Standard in a lot of games, and maybe it's not all that... relevant, but... Or not relevant, but maybe it's not all that unique, but I still was not expecting this to be a choice. So you got a little heart. Knock the rock from his hands. Aim for his head. Drop your rock. Knock... Oh man, this is actually kind of intense. I mean, she's taking some serious crap from people. I know the good thing to do is to drop the rock, but I'm gonna chuck it at his head. Come on, Pops.
Aloy, we cannot.
Children, away from there. Back to picking berries.
You're bleeding. Let me have a look.
Yeah, dude, I just got domed by a rock. That ain't
Here.
cool.
Hold still. I'll get it.
Why?
Need a charcoal. So I wonder if,
Why am I an outcast?
Aloy, this is not the time.
Who was my mother?
Aloy, I've told you before, that's not for us to know. You were just a newborn when the matriarchs brought you to me.
So the matriarchs, they know?
It's not so simple.
But they know.
Aloy, we are outcasts.
So how do I make them tell me?
The matriarchs? There is a way, perhaps.
So tell me.
You whip them with rocks.
It would be dangerous.
How?
Chuck rocks at their head.
It would take years of training.
I don't care. How do I do it? Tell me.
The proving. The tribe's rite of passage held every year. Those who pass become braves. But to the one who wins, the matriarchs grant a boon.
A boon?
Yes, whatever the winner wants.
Then I'll do it. Whatever it takes. I'll win the proving.
Yeah, I am digging the female empowerment vibes. It's good stuff.
We'd best get started.
There are ways to do it well, and there are
Your
ways to
training will
do
be
it
hard.
cheaply, like a corporate tick box.
It will take years.
Start training? Yes. Follow.
So maybe it's because I've got a girl this age. I don't really think we need the training montage. Because I look at this and I just think Rocky's better. Anytime I see a training montage, I just think about Rocky Ford slipping that thing, running up the mountain and stuff. But no, I just. If they don't cheat out on it. Just getting understand. Play the main game when she's all grown up. They've done a pretty good job of leading up to that. I'm invested. Like, I love when female empowerment is done right, and I absolutely despise when it's done cheap and shallow. Just like right or don't do it. Don't do it in a way that's bad. Let's move on. So far, the way that we've done it so far, let's see how it works out. Holy crap. That's there. I'm sorry. The training montage was cool, and that's neat. But dude, you looking good for 20 years passing by, man. You haven't aged a day, buddy.
Rost?
That's looking straight out of God of War.
Rost? Rost? Where is he?
That
2
literally
days
looks
before
like
the proving and he
Kratos'
goes off without me? He wouldn't do that.
You go and you take down that. Okay, game looks. The game looks. I mean, I've heard it looks good, but man, it does look absolutely beautiful. Holy crap. First thing I'm going to do is go back to my home, see if there's anything in here. Nope, can't go back in. That sucks. Alright, so we got circle dodge. That's good. That was a really effective opening. I dig that. I'm invested, I'd say. But again, it could just be that I'm a father and I'm a bit weak in the knees when it comes to that kind of thing. Can't go in there. All right. Man, movement in this feels great. I love that I'm continuing to move as I kind of zoom in like this. You can, your spirit can knock off machine armor using R1. Okay, I'll try that again. All right, let's make a couple manual saves here to start the day. Always start with 4, ladies and gentlemen, just in case things go sideways. 3 or 4. I usually do 4. And then you just start from the top and you roll right on down through each one. Can attack in midair. I was kind of hoping. When I say kind of hoping, I was really hoping to see that because. Pick this arrow back up. No. So once you use an arrow, it's done. Okay. So we're not looking at like Zelda Breath of the Wild levels of crazy where
I'll find a use for you.
Where you can shoot an apple and watch it roll down a hill, and then you'll pull the arrow out of the apple, put it back in your quiver. 1% health added to the medicine pouch. Let's see if you can use items when you're at full health. Nope. Okay, I like that. It drives me nuts when I accidentally use something and then she's still using that thing. Cool. Let's see if there's anything up here to break before we move forward. Ah, basket. Alright. I think that's enough here. Let's get out there. Not until I take off this dumb's head. So I'm hoping there's some upgrades in the melee system. I'm sure there are. That would be fun to play, man. If I can be like a melee-focused Aloy versus a distant, ranged Aloy.
He said we'd go hunting this morning. Why isn't he here? Where's he gone to?
So I was kind of expecting that right there. So that's something else I'm really digging is so far what I've seen in the world is what you see is what you get. Meaning that in a lot of other games right here, you go to jump in and you just be stopped by an invisible wall. I hate that. Probably my biggest frustration when it comes to Legend of Trials of Mana is it's like just a tunnel simulator in a lot of ways. You'll see something like this and then you'll just stop because you can't move forward. Here it was nice to kind of roll in there and be able to, or jump in there rather than be able to get into that little crevice. Kind of looks like what you see is what you get, so that's nice. I love seeing that, especially in my open world games. Let's take a look at our inventory. Outfits, cool. Weapons. Let's see what it says about the spear. This melee weapon has a quick, light attack that can remove armor plates, or a slower, heavy attack with R2 that can knock down smaller enemies. Oh, sweet. Okay. Alright. The difference between heavy attack and light attack. That's satisfying. Oh man, that's satisfying. Nice. Let's see what we got here. My medicine top is full. That's cool. I probably should have started this on hard, but change it later on.
What's he doing up there?
What up, Pops?
He's just standing there.
Uh-oh.
What's going on with him?
That is foreshadowing. That's what we call foreshadowing. He's just standing there not doing anything. Kind of reminiscent there of God of War, although God of War, those yellow handprints mean something lore-wise, which I won't give away just in case one of you out there somehow, some way has not played God of War from 2018, in which case, for the love of God, do it right now. Stop whatever you're playing and go play it. But I digress. I like that that's clearly in the environment. Okay, I thought he was going to be standing.
Aloy, you're here.
Did you want to be alone?
No. We must speak. I've been thinking about your training, Aloy. You've learned to hunt, learned to survive. But I fear there's a lesson I failed to teach you. Would you learn it now?
Of course. I'll always learn what you have to teach.
There has been some trouble recently. It affords an opportunity to learn this lesson, but it will be dangerous. You must come prepared, or you will die.
Oh, snap.
Descend into the Embrace and hunt until you have gathered the parts for fire arrows.
Fire arrows? What kind of trouble are we talking about?
Once you have the parts, you will meet me there, at the gate beyond the village of Mother's Heart.
The North Gate? At the edge of the Embrace?
Yes. Now be on your way.
Is something else bothering you?
No, I'm fine.
Are you worrying about what happens after the proving?
What happens is clear. You will be accepted as one of the tribe, and I will still be an outcast, to be shunned.
Rost, even if the tribe accepts me, I won't...
There is much to do, Aloy. We will discuss this later.
Something tells me you won't.
Okay. Anything else you want me to do while I'm down in the Embrace?
Odd might be out of food by now. You could hunt a week's worth of meat for her, if you find the time.
Fetch quest.
Wouldn't mind if she'd say thanks just once.
If you don't
Grada
mind, just go
follows
out
the
and,
law.
you know,
Her silence
go
towards
out
us is
and
honorable.
provide
not
an
an
entire
insult.
week's of food
If you say so.
for an unthankful BITCH.
I'll go gather the parts, but I'm also going to pay Karst a visit.
Aloy, that man breaks the law every time he speaks to you.
And I'm glad he does. I want to buy a tripcaster, and no other trader will sell to outcasts.
Stock it with ammunition, then. You'll find use for that weapon tonight.
That sounds ominous.
You think?
All right. See you at the North Gate.
Shall only speak praying to the goddess All Mother. So you got your fairly standard open world UI here, but I dig the ladies and gents, I will be right back. One of my family members, one of my girls is losing, so I will be right back. And welcome back to Sanity, starring me, your host, which is comical because I'm not sane. You're never sane when you have children. All right, so I'm into this. I'm into Loy's training. I'm into this whole thing. Again, there's a lot of cliche stuff going on, and I still can't take the dinosaur seriously, especially that action shot. I mean, I know it's supposed to be cool, and if it was anything else, it would have been. But I'll just have to get over it. The combat seems cool. It's nice. It's weighty. It's visceral. And I love the fact that I can sit there and take materials from the corpses. That's awesome. I like that. I mean, that's in a lot of other open world games, but still, it never gets old when it's done well. So it looks like we've got. Okay, there's your stereotypical tree. How you're gonna throw your character? We've got Brave, Prowler, Forager, and Traveler. So I assume this is going to be related to like agility, and then Brave is going to be, let's see, Forager, Earthball, Healer. Speeds up healing from the medicine pouch. Not going to really use that, I don't think, too much. Traveler, Shard, Salvager. So let's start with combat. Silent Strike. Press R1 to perform a silent takedown on small machines and humans or deal high enough damage to medium. Hunter reflexes time slows while paving during a jump or slide. I do dig that. Let's get that first. That fits her character, I think, pretty well. They can move down. I assume that these are going to increase in cost as you move down each tree respectively. Let's go. Concentration. Silent drop. Landing from a fall or jump is completely silent and will not load enemies. Forager. Okay. Gatherer. Let's see. Additional natural. Traveler. It's not bad. So it looks like you'll be able to disassemble as you move throughout and grab some level of return. You can boost it with that skill landing from the fall. So do I want to be stealthy? I don't know if I do. Face and beating you with a spear. When I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima, I walk in. At least for most of the game, I just walked in and announced that I'm there and just force my way through fights. So let's see if there's anything like that. Light spear attacks have an increased chance to knock off armor components. Yeah, let's take that. I like that. And landing from a fall or jump. No, press R1 to perform a silent takedown on small machines or humans. I don't think. Let's see. Critical hit, double shot, triple shot, fast reload, concentration, knockdown, precision. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of variety when it comes to builds. Maybe there is. It just looks like you're getting your base stats increased a bit. You can slow down time. You can be a little bit more stealthy. I'm not seeing any kind of melee focused build unless maybe I'm overlooking something. Disarm traps, ammo crafter. That's cool. Gatherer. I'll go ahead and get Forager. Might as well start with that one early on so that I can kind of get used to it throughout the game, just picking up more materials than I otherwise would have. That'll keep me nice and fueled up and ready to go as we move forward. Inventory, special items. What do we get here? Trade this token to any merchant for your special bonus items. This must be because I got the complete edition. Let's see, notebook. Okay, good. So we got a bestiary in here. Love it. Compact, inquisitive, and agile recon unit that will attempt to swarm a targeted numbers. I was hoping for a little more description, but that's fine. Hitting this component deals greater damage to the machine. Okay, so this is pretty sweet. I like that it lets you know what loot drops. Fairly standard, but still good. Looks like they're throwing in the uncommon and the rare kind of stuff to let you know what is rare and what's not, which is fine. I'm at this point, I'm kind of over like these. Oh, this is rare and this is common, and it's kind of like color coding. It's like in every game now, including games where it doesn't really belong, like Control. If you guys have ever played Control, I kind of thought that they shoehorned into Control a rarity system or a system with loot and mods and that kind of thing. I've seen so much of it at this point. I'm like, to do something different, but that's fine. It's not a big deal. So I get good designation here of what these items, what these enemies drop, and where you need to go and grind things, because I'm sure later on you're going to need X amount of materials to do whatever. So the game is so far very centered in your very standard, typical open world design, but so is Ghost of Tsushima. Right? You guys know how much I love that game. So that's not a knock against it. It's just I'm hoping to see something soon that kind of differentiates this as an open world game from another. And again, I've been playing for what? I've been streaming for an hour and 45 minutes. I'm nowhere in this game, and I'm not really going to be able to see any of those differentiations probably for more than 20 hours or so is what I'm going to say. But I do like to, they have a model viewer in here. Is there a way you can just bring up this model and kind of, I always love that when you've got a beast area in a game that you can bring up the model itself and zoom in and look at it. Not something that you need, but I've always appreciated that. Let's see, crafting, modify weapons. This lightweight bow trades power for faster reload and firing time. Okay, it's good for short to medium range combat. Fire arrows can ignite blaze containers, and backpacks can be modified. Okay. Ammo. Okay, so we'll take a look at this stuff later. Thank you guys again, by the way, for taking the time to look. This gather blaze from striders, gather metal shards from machines. So. Okay, that's just beautiful. My goodness. What that looks like on this screen is just... Oh, that's cool. She's putting her hands out to touch the snow. I like that. I love those little touches. Ghost of Tsushima does an amazing job with that. I love seeing that. That is cool. Okay, I appreciate that. Well done, Guerrilla Games. Really appreciate that. I just want to say, man, like, let's say this ends up just being a competent open world RPG. What a smashing success for Guerrilla Games, who's used to
Something's really bothering him. If he thinks I'm going to abandon him, he's wrong.
That's some very Tomb Raider stuff. You can see that they've taken inspirations from Tomb Raider, Red Dead Redemption, The Division, a bit of Metroid, so that I'm seeing a number of different influences here, which I'm really appreciating, because they're not, I mean, some of them are a little bit more on the nose than others, but I really am enjoying the mixture, and they're doing a very good job. But back to the point of it, man, for Guerrilla Games to move into open world design and to execute something of this caliber, at least from what I'm seeing right off the bat, it's just such a success story for that dev, and I'm really happy to see it, and I'm happy to be supporting the game and playing it. I paid $9 for it. Still, I bought it new. Proceeds went directly to the developer, as it should. I'm going to get very into this, the audio data points here, the game progression. Man, we got that classic game completion piece. So I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do this quest, guys, and I'm going to go track down these first couple of things. I'm going to hop into Bauer Babel here. I want to chat with you guys for a little bit about some of the games that I'm playing, what I'm thinking a little bit here, and then maybe move into Nier Replicant at some point. Show you guys that a little bit. I've had some requests for that, but still have plenty of time to play this tonight. Really am enjoying the notebook aspect of this. You got those statistics in there, time plates, obviously being tracked down, which is nice. So you can see that. So I just went, I didn't do anything straight down here. I went one Prowler, one Brave, and one Forager, right? And then I can kind of focus and reinforce certain areas as is needed. Sorry, open the world maps. This is where I'm going to go here. I assume that this world map's going to get very busy very quickly. We'll set the waypoint here. Yep. It's a very standard open world design, but just executed brilliantly. Just brilliantly so far. I'm really enjoying it. Ooh. Oh my gosh, the fog and the rain. Holy crap, does this look good. All right. Sorry, guys. I know I'm 4 years behind
the embrace.
The 8 ball on that one, but
my whole life I've never gone beyond this valley. That'll change
my
after
whole life I've never gone beyond
2 days.
This valley.
2 days until I get answers.
This is
2 days, and I'll know.
And
who
I
she
gotta
was,
say this too.
and why I was cast out at birth. As if there could be an
I
excuse
love
for that.
when developers
All right.
give you the
Time to
ability to
gather the
walk
parts
as
for some
quickly
fire
or
arrows.
slowly as you want, or
I
just
should find a
full out
herd.
sprint. I really, when I talked earlier about pet peeves, like all the clouds need to move and all, if there's a body on the ground and I continue to do damage to it, I want to see that damage. you know, that kind of stuff's fairly nitpicky, but one thing that really does drive me nuts is when you have like 1 or 2 movement speeds, either running fully or just walking at the same speed.
Lion's thirsty for rain. Me, not so much.
And she's commenting on the weather. That's cool. So it seems like they're hitting all of the high water marks for, you know, the little things. I'm digging that. So let's see.
Mother's heart. 2 more days, and I'll know what it's like in there. So many people crammed into one place. I guess no one ever gets lonely in there.
Okay. That makes sense. He's told me that, but... So at some point I'll need to play Days Gone as well.
Easier when I was a kid.
I don't know what all these different markings are as of yet. I know that one over there. I need to grab some fire arrows, I guess, or flame arrows. Let's take a look here. We'll cross the bridge. Let's see what's going on here. I do like that's fine. Let's see. There's spires in the background. I can't get over, by the way, you guys are looking for a TV. The Samsung Q80T is just unbelievable. It's supposedly the LG OLED CX is the best on the market, and this is like coming up the rear. It's close to second. I can't imagine. I'll be honest. I can't imagine something like that. I assume the LG does, but I mean at this point, is there even really a difference? I can't get over it. This is such a.
These are helpful. Bitter, though.
For PS5, too, to have the HDMI 2.1 port to be able to do the 120 frames per second, variable refresh rate, and all that good stuff. You really don't need that if you have a next-gen console right now, but it's nice to kind of have a future proof here, and the contrast in this is just out of this world. So, I did play Ghost of Tsushima.
They're angry.
Bring it. Oh. Alright, so combat is. Oh, there's another one. Oh. Really like the combat. Oh, that heavy attack after the 2 light attacks. The timing on that is excellent. That feels good. Oh, look at the design on the blade there with the feathers. And you got the cylinders there in the different colors. And then you just got also kind of that mixture of old world tech as well. All right, so that made me feel like a verified badass to be able to avoid those attacks and be able to not take damage and just effortlessly take them down, not with my bow but with that spear. I'm not gonna lie, that was incredibly satisfying. Incredibly satisfying, way more satisfying than I was anticipating. Look at that fog roll back in. I wish you guys could see it the way that I'm seeing it. I think you would just put your jaw on the floor. Of course, many of you out there have already seen this and played it in HDR even back in 2017. But +45. What am I getting? What's the +45?
Nutritious.
I like that she comments on every little thing she does. That's nice. Ghost of Tsushima does a good job with that. Maybe not as consistent, but I do like. I like the animation there. The difference between jumping off a high spot like this and just running off of it, it feels like there's a different animation for it, and you just fall. Pretty sweet. It's just fluid, man. Like the game just feels like a dream to play. Looks great on PS5. I don't know how much this is improving the original, since I didn't play the original with the save here. And then we'll also do a manual save. Go back to the top here. Pop that. So thank you guys for taking the time, as always, to hang out. If you want to ask me about anything, talk about anything, let me know. Otherwise, we'll go from there. We got a fire kiln route. Could that potentially be a Dark Souls reference? It should be. Killing the place. First thing I think anytime I see kiln. And that's never a bad thing, because the first Dark Souls is legitimately, in my opinion, one of the best games that's ever been made. Did I get it? Oh, I did get it. I didn't think I would have gotten it, but it looks like I did. Alright, so I was telling you guys about, like, I want to see things happen. I don't want to see the ground come up when I shoot a corpse. At least you get a little puff of blood there. And see that. That's good. I can work with that. It looks like I'm down to a couple arrows there, so let's go ahead and craft up plenty here. Hop up here, and then I'll head over to that Strider then and take down some enemies and see what we got to do for this test when we pop. Architecture looks pretty cool. I like that Dreamcatcher style right there. That's solid. Kind of Skyrim a little bit. A bit of Skyrim. Climbing feels solid. It's very Uncharted-like. It reminds me a bit of Uncharted. Actually, a lot of Uncharted, maybe just a little bit more fluid. And it's nice to not feel like every other ledge is going to break artificially and be like, oh, you're going to fall, but it's Uncharted and you never will. With that series, even though I love the first two games, it got to the point where every time you find something, you kind of knew which part of the back climb, the ledge is going to break and all that stuff. That old ledge. I guess there was nothing else up there. Is that it? Go back up there quick just to make sure that this is go off to the top right there. If I can make it jump up. Go over here. There's gotta be something else up here. Let's go over here. That's clearly a ledge right there. You can't reach it for some reason. Oh, here we go. So exploring's definitely satisfying. Definitely fun. Day-night cycle, or the weather cycle rather, is very good so far. I'm really enjoying the fog and the rain and the sunshine and all these different things that you might expect in a lot of open world games. Nice. Probably some type of collectible or some type of height lookout where you have to get to a certain height and then you can reveal different parts of the map. That's what I'm expecting here. Let's see if that's what we get. Very Assassin's Creed style. Hell down. I feel like there's something here I'm missing, so let's take a look around here and see.
Whatever they're hunting out there, it doesn't sound easy.
Yeah, medicine pouch is full, so not a whole lot there that I need. Can't climb up there anywhere. Let's see what else we got here. Corner. I'm sure it's not just the view that they're showing off. There's got to be something.
Easy, easy.
Campfire, that's cool. I don't know if campfires act as fast travel points or not, but I assume that they probably do. Let's see. Nope, it's not. Okay. Oh, buff out. Double buff. Over there, no. Big in smoke, very Ghost of Tsushima style, even though Ghost of Tsushima probably inspiration from this in a lot of ways. Let's see what this leads to. Nora Brave.
I can't hear anything. Nope, not a thing. Ugh, the outcast. Oh no, what's she talking to?
It's the same character. At the end of the world.
I haven't slept in days with my sister's twins teething. Excuse me.
If I ignore her, she'll leave.
All right, let's see what's up this fire tower, shall we? It's an old satellite dish there. I dig it.
I need to turn around.
Oh, come on. I went all the way up here just to be told I can't. Spikes. Oh, I hate that. Oh, didn't really lead anywhere, so kind of sucks, but I'm sure I can come back later once I'm not an outcast anymore. Alright. Gate off progress early on, that makes sense. I'm looking forward to when I can just explore the world whenever I want, however I want. Hopefully we get to that point. I love like in your Fallout games where they just pick a direction and go. You know, you're not gated behind anything outside of maybe like story events for certain things, but even in games like that, you can still go to those locations and explore them a bit. Main embrace gates.
Don't look at the outcast. Don't look.
Time to focus. I was hoping to get kind of lost and get off the beaten track here, but it looks like I gotta get this stuff done. So let's focus on this Strider den here. I am way off track. It's over here. All right. Now I can swim, so let's go ahead and just hop in the river here. There we go. Fallout is gated, you'll get smoked in the
But I
wrong
tan this
direction.
level
That is
well.
true, that's a good
It'll
point.
keep.
Especially freaking New Vegas, if you ever come across a chasm road. I guess there are higher level enemies in different parts, that's a good point. But you know, there are games out there you can go anywhere and do whatever. They're pretty good. A lot of games do well with that. You know, I just love feeling at least having the illusion that I can go anywhere that I want without running into invisible walls or places that say, you can't go here right now. Again, not the end of the world, not a huge deal. But that's a really good point there, yeah, you're right about that. And then I remembered the freaking Cazador, which is the most terrifying thing I've come across in any of the Fallout games. I also hate wasps and bees, and I have a historic fear of them, so coming across ones that are that aggressive is no joke. There we go. This way. Let's get over to this Strider then and take down these, take these things down. The point of the spear. I'm definitely interested to find out what a trip caster is. Pretty sweet. So I like the ability to tag these things. That's cool. Nice and simple. Holy crap, there's a lot of them. Gotta be careful here. See if they can tell where I am from the brush.
You're going down.
So see, it's kind of Metal Gear style. We just gotta stay out of view, and then eventually land. Pick up some crafting materials here. I'm sure this will get more challenging as time goes on. And maybe I should have started on hard like I normally do. That's probably might have been the right thing to do, but
Good haul.
I don't think at this point I'm even worried about these guys. Go ahead and use that pouch. Open up some space for additional medicinal items.
Machine saw me.
I guess when I shot that canister, it looks like an additional loot spawned off. That's pretty sweet. That was actually really cool. I enjoyed that. Plus 5% damage for the small percentage things. Plus 7.2% this. Press crafting modifier weapons or outfit. Alright, let's take a look. I'm really not a fan of the small percent upgrade things. Like in Division, they do that a lot. Well, one upgrade will give you plus 2.3%. Another will give you plus 2.6. I've never really felt noticeable, tangible differences in leveling up a character based on small percentages. Hey, maybe that's just me.
Back to your business.
But I'm just like that. I'm not a huge fan of. Plus 11% shock for it. I'm just
now they're hunting me.
I'm sick of those systems. Many of you might disagree with that. That's fair enough. For me as a gamer, I'm just not into the small incremental percentage increases and things. And I often get kind of, spend too much time. Let's see, select using. Oh, we've got some fire bows. I guess just switching up with the R. That's nice how they map that here. Very easy to switch between them. You got your stereotypical slow down time while you switch them, and that's fine.
I'll tuck that away.
So far, the controls are really solid. I'm really digging them. Picking stuff up. This game looks like it was very intentionally designed to be a time sink. Yeah, I could see myself just meandering around picking stuff up for a couple of hours and not really getting much done. Let's see if I can get that eye here. Or that canister. Let's see if I get that canister. I guess if you get the canister, it's additional. That's pretty satisfying.
New plan.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, combat as I level up is going to get really good. It's going to get, I think, really excessive. I would like to see games, open world games, get away from these percentage increase systems.
It'd be fascinating if they weren't looking for me.
I don't know. I know so many games do it. Right, I get it. A lot of games do it. But I'm over it. I've been over it a while ago. I would be more interested in meaningful builds through skill trees that give you tangible, benefits and make you feel like you're getting stronger and stronger. Never, at least for me, I can't think of a game where I've actually felt, as a result of that kind of system, like I've gotten significantly stronger over the course of time. It's always come from more permanent upgrades, I just, and the loot systems, the green and, for common, the green for rare, orange for epic, and then something else for legendary or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm looking to see things be shaken up a little bit. Always good. Slow motion is cool. Michael Bay used that. But no, you do slow motion, right? Especially in combat. You can get some really stuff as a result of that. I guess I just need to head. Well, that's where I am now. I'm at Strider's site. I just gotta craft up some more of these to do that. So I gotta go get a trip pass there, I guess. A couple more of these and then head fire as much damage then it's metal, so that makes sense to me.
This'll help.
I do those ones. Days Gone was doing this as well. You're picking up resources and those types of things. You got zombies rather than robot dinosaurs. Alright, so let's head over this way. Let's see, is this... talk to Carson, trade for a trip past this way. Yeah, no, I mean, the world is definitely beautiful. Combat is nice and meaty and visceral. It's good weight to move, man. It feels excellent. It feels like a dream to play. So that'll keep me playing here through the end. The world's really nice. It's good. I'll be interested, like I said earlier, to see if ruins still, feel unique along with it. The more that you explore and those types of things. But we'll see how it goes. Stick to the beat. so far
Use the
it's not
cars
really
to
been
get a
challenging at all,
Tripcaster.
which is fine. I'm not looking for a Dark Souls experience, but I'm sure as more enemies come into play and more weapons and more mechanics, it'll get probably more difficult to brute force things or just kind of take things out without really having to think too much about it. See, this is what I was saying, guys. This is my problem. If there are going to be things for me to pick up, I'm just going to run and pick them up until I can't pick them up anymore. It's kind of an issue. That triangle
She's aware the taste of metal.
Pick this bad boy up, go from there. Alright. Let's pick up this Tripcaster and see what it is. It's full.
No one else around. Looks safe to meet. I guess there he is. Looks nervous.
I'm going to meet with you, and I'm going to tear up your house while I do it. What's going on, dude?
Well, well, well. An
NPCs
outcast
look
on my
super
doorstep. All mother protect me.
Surprised you saw me the way you keep looking every other direction to make sure no one's watching. Careful there, or you'll sprain your neck.
It's always a pain in the neck when you show up, girl, one way or another.
Last time I visited, you had a Tripcaster available for trade. Still got it?
I do. But you'd need to bring me a scrapper lens. What can I say? Special weapons don't
Yeah,
come
luckily I
cheap.
just picked up like 13 of them.
Oh, I can pay. Took down a scrapper not long ago. Stripped out
So
the
it's
lens
also
in
very
perfect
reminiscent
condition.
of Assassin's
I'll
Creed.
be the judge of that.
Especially like your Odyssey.
Show me.
Odysseys of the world. The way the conversations play out and kind of the overall, I don't mean any offense by this, but the blandness of the NPCs and kind of the samey feel to them. But also in how kind of like the developers have taken the time to at least put in checks and scripting in the game where if you've done something already, by the time you talk to that person, you don't have to then like exit the conversation, then come back in and then be like, oh, oh, you did do this now, where you have to kind of initiate the conversation twice, but it just automatically adapts to whether you have an item in your inventory. Always appreciated. That's nothing new, right, in these types of games, but still always appreciated. So let's see what we got here with this Tripcaster. This weapon creates traps which detonate when the tripwire connecting to anchor points is broken. It's best used across enemy patrol paths or in narrow spaces and can be modified. I am liking the unique feel of the different weapons here. Kind of the straightforward descriptions, which aren't 2 paragraphs long, but rather just a couple sentences. That's cool. But I like the design and the overall feel of kind of the different objects and items in the world. It's pretty sweet. You can also trade it back, so it looks like you can trade up or trade down with these items. You can trade back for a scrap of it. So pretty sweet. Pick that one up and play a movie. Let's see. Oh, cool. So they got their little preview movies here. They'll show you how to use it. So that's kind of like Just Cause a little bit, using your. He's got like that. Rico's got that gadget, which that's cool. Except these are electric. All right, so we'll roll with that. We'll buy it. All right, we'll put that in our bottom slot. Let's see what else we got here. Karja Sling. What do we need for this? We need 15 blades, 150 metal shards. I got 14 of them. So it looks like the grind is real. Can't sell my current outfit because I would not be wearing clothes. So yes, you got your typical upgrade systems in place tied to the loot system, and you got your resources, traps, potions, modifications. So yeah, everything that the game is working with is things I've seen before, but it's the combat's really does feel significantly different than a lot of other open world games. Feels a little bit more weighty, a little bit more visceral. Maybe not as visceral or weighty as Ghost of Tsushima's combat. It's just excellent. It's still the fact that I'm mentioning it in the same breath as Ghost of Tsushima is a massive compliment. Right? Treasure boxes. Okay, so this must be from the complete edition I picked up. 3 sample boxes. Or am I buying these that can be traded? Okay, so these are the tokens that I picked up. So it looks like I'm gonna get a lot of these. It looks like I'm gonna get a lot of these items anyway. Stop 5 rocks. Don't think I probably ever really need this. In fact, you know, the game feels right now easy enough where if you know, that if I wanted more of a challenge, then I would just not use these options and just use what I had, or maybe, you know, only keep 10 of a certain amount of items, right? 10 arrows at a time, 5 rocks at a time, 10 rocks at a time, whatever. I do that in games that are easier, just to keep things a little more challenging and fresh. So we'll see if we can do that here. Traps and potions resist fire plus 10%. 75% damage resistance for 90 seconds, making the extract of the fire kill. Okay, well, it looks like metal shards are going to be a thing, so keep an eye out for them. They got buybacks there.
Now that you've got yourself a tripcaster, practice how to use it someplace else, all right? My life's exciting enough without a bunch of shock wire booby traps to trip over.
Really? Could have fooled me.
If you just look at his mouth only when it moves, it'll bug you up. Let's see, anything else?
Will you be around later, in case I want to make another trade?
I'll be here. Same as usual, bring me the parts you harvest from any machines you hunt. The better the parts, the more shards I'll pay. Be sure to take a close look at my inventory, though. Who knows? Maybe I've got something that could give you an edge in the proving. Always a pleasure doing business.
Yep.
I guess that concludes our business.
All right. See you around.
I've got what I need.
Still in the tutorial, a couple hours in. Let's see. Crafting map, notebook, alright. Different types of machines, yeah, striders, yep. I do like the designs. I think the designs are pretty sweet. It's just the concept that I just can't get beyond the concept. I know you guys are sick of hearing that, but I just but I understand the purpose that it serves, and from a gameplay perspective, you know, the way that these enemies have been designed and how they act amongst one another, how they kind of roam the world, and how you have to take them down. They have different weak points and stuff. Guerrilla Games is, I'm sure, going to continue to do a great job with this aspect of the game. I can completely and totally understand objectively why this is freaking awesome, and it is. Just for whatever reason, that combination of robots and dinosaurs just conceptually, for me personally, is very difficult to get past. All right, so let's bring this up. Tripcaster, Shockboy. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Select the default ammunition. That's aim at the ground near an enemy and fire at 2 spots. Yeah, okay, that's easy enough. Let's go to the north gate. Let's see. North gate's up here. Ridgewood. All right. So how's everybody doing out there tonight? You guys ready for the weekend? What games are you playing? Let me know. Hit me up in those comments, and I'll be happy to talk those games with you if I know anything about them or have my thoughts on it. Playing a little Horizon now. Don't know how much longer the stream will go on. We're at about 2.5 hours now. I was hoping to make to maybe around 4.
Just because
but,
I'm shunned doesn't mean I won't pass through.
Just because I'm shunned doesn't mean I won't pass through. Go ahead and manual save this guy up. We'll see how it goes. You know, I might shut down before 3 hours. I might make it to 4. We'll see. I have got a whole lot of games to play, guys. So right now, just to give you an idea, trying to beat East 8 so I can shelf it and get back to Near Replicant, which is just, I mean, I don't. I don't know how many times I have to say it on stream, and I know that you guys are probably getting annoyed at it, but as my original PS3 copy of Nier, before anyone knew about what Nier was or Yoko Taro and all that stuff, if you knew about Drakengard back in the day, which also is a direct prequel to the entire Nier universe, directly related, you'll understand, you know, as I did going into Nier, why that Yoko Taro is such a just brilliant director and why those games are special. But seeing Nier get a re-release to a new generation is just so cool, man. I'm so excited about that. What a great game. Very different than any other RPG I think I've ever played. It's like it takes place in some kind of ethereal dream, part of the dream world somewhere. If you've played Automata, you know what I mean. It's just a different kind of game. And, you know, before I get back to that properly, I want to beat East 8. And I do have East 9 to play, which I'm very excited to play. But kind of, I'm juggling all of these RPGs right now, right? So I've got East 8 that I'm trying to beat. I'm trying to beat Trials of Mana, which is okay if that takes me a little bit. I'm just kind of puttering around, a couple hours here, a couple hours there with it. But that's a good game if you like Mana games. East 9, I'm going to have to start playing. I've got, oh man, I'm excited for this one. 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. Really excited to be playing that one. But I got to get back to Persona 5 Strikers as well, because Persona 5 is up there for my favorite game of all time, and this is the sequel to it. And I've got all these other games that I'm playing. I recently shelved Final Fantasy 9 and Wasteland 3, but I'll be releasing a video on YouTube here soon to talk about how great Wasteland 3 is, because that game is I think not to be missed by anybody. If you like RPGs, if you like CRPGs in particular, but if you like Fallout and you felt kind of jilted and jaded like I did, that, you know, like you never got a proper follow-up to Fallout New Vegas, then you absolutely deserve, or owe it to yourself rather, to play Wasteland 3 and also to support a great developer in Exile Studios. Just a phenomenal game. You know, if I had less games to play, I'd be playing my second or third playthrough of it by now, and I still think I'm going to go back and play through it. It's a totally fresh playthrough because there's just so many different ways to experience the story, change the world around you. We're talking like The Witcher 3 level of world consequence, and, the world changing based on the decisions you make, mixed with like Divinity Original Sin 2 if it had a baby with the XCOM series. Just great stuff. So let's hop over here and see where we're going. So this way. Let's see. Mother's Heart. Yeah. Some stuff. Like, I do like the music in here quite a bit. It's solid. This is also a really good example of this game came out now 4 years ago, and yet if this had come out yesterday and I'd be playing it right now, I'd be very, very impressed with it. You don't have to get games. Yeah, that's cool. Let me just make sure I'm seeing what I think I'm seeing. So I'm pretty sure that Aloy feels the... Does she? Feels the... Yeah, it seems like she kind of reaches out and feels the grass as she moves through it, which is something that I think Ghost of Tsushima does a little bit better, because there's a dedicated animation for it, but it looks like they took some inspiration from this game as they in different aspects of Ghost of Tsushima that I'm picking up on. So I love how developers respect
there he is, right
one
where he
another
said he'd be.
and do honors and do right by each other.
I think I'd abandon him
throwing
after the
nods
briefing.
into their games back to
Aloy, you're here.
into these other games, but also, you know, how they evolve those different concepts. They take them and then they make them their own, and that's just limitation is obviously limitation is the greatest form of flattery, right? Let's do a quick save here. Let's move forward and see what.
Come down. We should speak.
Let's see what we can do here.
You have the fire arrows.
I do. Those explosions and shouts beyond the embrace. Is that the trouble you were talking about?
You will know soon enough. Until then, we wait for dark.
Wait for dark? I saw Karst and got that tripcaster I was talking about.
I hate to think what that outlawed trader charged for a weapon of that make.
It wasn't cheap, but the caster is worth it.
Wasn't
Perhaps.
cheap. I only got 10 of them in the span
You'll
of
know
5
it's
minutes,
worth
so.
soon enough.
I don't understand. Those explosions are outside the embrace. What can we do from in here?
The lesson will be taught in due time, Aloy. Till then, we wait.
Look, Rost. I've thought it through, and I'm not going to shun you after the proving, okay? I won't do it. I'm not about to pretend that you never raised me.
Aloy, the law forbids all contact.
It does, and I don't care.
Yeah.
I know what duty means for you, Rost, but all tribal law has ever done for me is take things away.
Yeah, dude, take off the frickin' training.
It's not gonna
wheels,
happen
man.
again.
Aloy, I must obey the law.
And so you will. I knew you'd say that, so this is what we'll do. I'll come to you in secret. No one will see me, so I won't get in trouble. And I know you won't talk to me because it's against the law, but I'll talk to you. It'll be my crime, not yours. You'll just listen. And that's how we'll handle this.
You've put a lot of thought into this.
I know. So you can stop worrying. It's handled.
Yes. So it is.
Guess I'll get some rest.
Still a while to go before dark. I guess I'll get some rest.
Good idea. There'll be no time for sleep tonight.
We'll see what we got here when it comes to this quest. So let's go ahead and take a snooze. Take a snooze. Where am I hammock? By the way, can I just say, seriously, if you never slept in a hammock, you've never lived your life. It's so comfortable. The right hammock, right? Maybe one of those real weird cloth ones that are super, super tight. You can easily fall out of, But like the net hammocks that like fold up as you lay in them. Oh, so awesome. I was lucky enough to grow up in a family that every summer popped up a hammock in the backyard. It's good stuff. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Good stuff. All right. Rest at the campfire. No man of I knew.
Opening a gate for an outcast?
Some who are shunned reaped honor before disgrace.
So much for tribal law.
I spoke to no one, and now we must both keep silent, for we are outside of the embrace. These are the true wilds, Aloy.
Sweet.
With threats unlike any you have ever faced.
So this is her saying she's never been
carcass.
here her whole life. So
What sort of beast was that?
The tribe calls it a sawtooth, and it's something new. Something angry. Since they first started appearing 10 years ago, they have killed many braves.
Yeah.
I'm really liking the different feel. Oh, the stars look gorgeous. I'm really feeling. I'm digging the different feel already. Moving through this gate into this new region. Man, this feels like Ghost of Tsushima back in 2017.
Follow the path. It's not far.
That makes sense.
That cabin.
As far as the
What
world
happened
itself.
to it?
A machine, that's what.
Ghost of Tsushima has its own artistic flair as well. But
the sort of machine you're hunting now.
Oh, I see.
This definitely, this definitely feels.
I'll watch your carcass. I'll harvest the parts.
Watch your surroundings.
How big this world is. It looks like it's pretty, pretty big. Holy crap. Wonder, is the game this big? All of this here? That's pretty big. Pretty big. Got some wood here. Particle effects and the lighting and all this stuff is just outstanding. Another card. Take a look. Launcher, metal shards. I'm down for all days.
Sorry to spoil your fun.
I like the instinct.
It won't be much farther now.
Or the eye shot is good.
Why are we the only ones out here tonight? Why can't the tribe's braves have this machine?
They did. The kills we passed are theirs. Tomorrow, they will hunt again.
I like how she carries her bow with one arm.
This machine
That's
will be
pretty
my
sweet.
kill.
Or your death, if you're not careful.
I like that. That's a cool little detail. She's carrying her bow with one hand or one arm. Dig it. Little things like that have the ability to speak to characters and their personality and stuff. Just do little visual flares like that. You do a really good job of that in Ghost of Tsushima as well. You know, kind of the way that Jin, you know, sheathes his weapon and how he holds certain things, and just the level of detail that Sucker Punch put in there is very reminiscent of this. And again, certainly they've taken inspiration from this.
An entire lodge wrecked by sawtooths? How many were there?
I didn't bring you here to answer questions, Aloy. I brought you here to deal with that.
Fair enough. If I don't get any, I'm serious. If I don't get any description of why these things exist and how, I'm gonna lose my mind. But I gotta admit, let's hop into Bauer Babble here. I'm having a lot more fun with this than I expected. Way too early first impressions are kind of similar to Ghost of Tsushima, where you got a lot of these same systems you've seen in every other open world game out there. Collect X amount of audio data logs, collect and harvest resources from the environment and from the enemies that you kill, right? Uncover different parts of the map doing certain things, whatever it is. A loot system. Oh, green is common and blue is rare, and you know, oh, plus 8% is better than plus 7.8. We've seen it all before. And yet kind of the sum of its parts, the way that movement feels, kind of the unique way that you're approaching different enemies. I love the concept of getting additional loot by hitting weak points, like popping off a canister, right? To get you know, in that list of rare items and materials and things in the bestiary, knowing that you can get those if you hit that shot every time. I like that. I like that a lot. And again, it's not like the most unique thing in the world. I'm not saying, you know, no other game has ever done that, but kind of the way that it's presented. And then you kind of mix out, you know, or mix up the different very clear inspirations from other great games like Uncharted and Red Dead Redemption and those types of things. And yeah, despite the setting not being my favorite and despite the robot dinosaurs still being cringeworthy in a lot of ways, I can't help but find myself having a lot of fun and excited and looking forward to playing it some more. And we'll see. I mean, this is what, 2 hours and 40 minutes in, and I could, yeah. I mean, I could see the loop in here, even though being fairly standard from an open world perspective. I can see this being, Bigsby. Oh, shut up, Bigsby. So I got I gotta turn off my Samsung remote because it keeps trying to pick up me as if I'm trying to talk to it. Nobody wants voice functionalities, Bigsby. I could just see this being very addictive, very fun, and developing into something that if it continues to impress me with the mechanics and the gameplay in particular, again, it's all about, for me, gameplay and music as well. I love music in games. If you kind of have the gameplay there and the music there, I don't really ultimately care about. I can just throw away the story. I can throw away the setting if need be, if those other aspects are strong enough. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm really, so far, I'm digging this. Even though I've seen all of these systems themselves, it kind of is giving me the same kind of vibe that Ghost of Tsushima did, where, I mean, listen, like, yeah, I've seen the way that this world has been handled before. These types of mechanics have been handled before, but man, Ghost of Tsushima does them so well. And then they add, oh man, the story in Ghost of Tsushima. Oh my gosh. The story in Ghost of Tsushima, and then the combat and all that stuff, nothing's going to top. And this will not have, I'm confident, will not be topping Ghost of Tsushima, but that's not the point, right? Objectively, so far, I could see this game being a very, very, very turning into a great game worth recommending to anyone. Well, we'll see. Still way, way, way too early to say anything. This could all become incredibly repetitive in the next 10 hours or so, where I'm like, I've done this a million times. I've kind of like that honeymoon phase is worn off. But as of right now, our initial impressions, I'm happy with what I'm playing. I'm not regretting playing it. I'm still openly cringing in some points, and it's just the concept of robot dinosaurs. Still haven't gotten past that, but overall, man, so far so good. Yeah, I'm gonna call it as I see it, man. And right now, I'm liking what I see and what I play. So let's play here for another half hour or so and see what goes on.
How do you defeat it?
That will be for you to decide. This hunt is yours to make, Aloy. Yours alone. No matter what happens, I will not intervene. You understand? You are on your own.
I should stay out of sight. I can use the tall grass to approach. Okay, let's see. Where can I place my traps?
I like the sound design a lot with the like the heavy boom 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 boom, very like T-Rex Jurassic Park style. There should be a cup of water out on the screen that's trembling. It's pretty neat. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch up to my. So I just wanted to see there if it would craft. So I had 19 out of 20. I wanted to see if it would still take the full materials to craft one arrow, and it did. So I got to keep that in mind here. Let's switch up to this. See, it turns around and comes back this way. Highlight track. Oh, okay, I see. Cool. So this is exceedingly simple as far as setting up these tripwires. We see where it's going to go. We just put the tripwires right in the middle of this path. Or put it a little further around, further down the line. And they're very liberal with the grass that they use.
The wire isn't long enough.
Heavy. So I guess with the strip caster, I got to be a little bit better when it comes to setting up. There's one, and then we'll set this up. There we go. You know what? Why not? I'll set the second one. There we go. All right, we got two of them. I'm digging. I'm definitely digging. Can that hurt me? Immersion break. That's no big deal. I mean, if you hear someone who's like, "Oh, that breaks immersion," that's annoying. I will say though, in the first Last of Us, Ellie running out in front of clickers and just being like, "Hey, I'm right here," and then running back to your hiding spot and them not reacting. That's immersion breaking. That's a fair argument. That is not just because a weapon that you use doesn't aggro you. That's or doesn't friendly fire's not activated. So here we go. All right, Sawtooth. Let's go, dummy. Walk into these wires.
Let's get on with it.
Oh, cool. So it's doing different levels of damage. I gotta hit all of these things.
It's on me.
Love the idea of breaking these enemies down by their different loot points, which are located differently and may drop different levels of loot, or different items based on how you're attacking them and taking them down. And I'm sure there'll be situations where you have multiple, you got multiple mixes of different enemies and different environments and situations that will necessitate that you brute force them, right? You brute force them down, you don't take them out the most effectively, and you lose out on some of those items in a pinch. But I love that if you become skilled enough and you learn how to take these enemies down and you hit them in the right spots, you'll get additional better loot and experience points out of that. Kind of like how Trials of Mana does it. If you don't get hit, you get different things based on different things that you do. But I like the contextual nature of this, right? With it being different weapons in different locations and breaking them down in different ways. Again, not a super unique concept in the overall scale of things, but still one I really appreciate and one that's being very uniquely done here in Horizon Zero Dawn. A lot of fun. Combat so far is stellar. Had a lot of fun with it. All right, metal shards picked up. All right, Sawtooth Heart. Chill water blaze and 11 wires. All right. No problem.
Why did I bring you here?
Not to answer questions.
Aloy.
Survival requires perfection. It was a test to hone my skills against a dangerous new machine.
No. Follow. These are Nora hunting lands. They must be protected. If you hadn't destroyed the Sawtooth, how many Braves might it have killed or injured tomorrow? The lesson lives within the question, Aloy. For years, you've trained to win the proving, but only for yourself. As a Brave, it will be your duty to fight for your tribe.
My tribe? You said I wouldn't need them.
But I never said the tribe wouldn't need you. The strength to stand alone, Aloy, is the strength to make a stand. To serve a purpose greater than yourself. That is the lesson you must learn. And remember it. After the proving. And after I'm gone. We're finished here. Follow.
Yeah, I got to be honest here. I'm really digging this character. I really like
Dawn
him.
has passed. This will be your last day in the Embrace as an outcast. Use the time to set your mind on the challenges before you. When it is time for you to go to Mother's Heart, I'll be waiting for you along the way.
I understand the final lesson, Rost.
Do you?
But if I'm going to stand for something, it'll have to be something I believe in.
Then I hope you find it, Aloy. I hope you do.
I'll see you at Mother's Heart then.
You will.
Obtained one generous reward box. I hope it's generous. Let's see. Treasure boxes. Alright. Got all these. I forgot to open these. Let's open the generous reward box first. Metal shards, blaze, metal vessel, health, 3 health potions. Cool. I'm already starting to kind of feel like I'm not going to really need a whole lot of healing potions because I've got my medicinal pouch filled, you know. Well, we'll talk about that here in a minute. I'm going to shut the stream down, guys, in the next 8 minutes or so. 3 hours, I think, is a solid stream, especially some other things to play tonight with some friends and family and make some progress. And then I got a full game day tomorrow. God bless my wife. Thank you. Thank you, babe, for giving me time tomorrow to just catch up on RPGs and games and all that good stuff. It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. Probably get up early. I'll do some early morning Saturday streams because I get up, guys, at like 6 o'clock when I can on Saturday mornings and before the kids are up. Before my wife is up and get a couple hours if I can, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours before they're up, and maybe start streaming on Saturday mornings as well. We'll see. Maybe that's when I start shooting footage for these YouTube videos every week and start getting everything done early so that by the time halfway through the week rolls around, I can continue to release these and get back to streaming on Fridays just like this. So let's open up these boxes here. Free samples, some chill wander, shock trap. Kind of reminds me, the shock trap kind of reminds me a little bit of BioShock as well. I love the tripwires in BioShock, and I love the electrical plasmid that you get. So I know it, maybe it's not a direct reference to BioShock, but I do. There are parts of this, very small parts of this, that also remind me a little bit of some other BioShock titles. So we get more metal shards, fast travel pack. Okay, so I would dig that kind of like a fast travel pack would kind of be like an ink ribbon, except instead of sharing or saving, rather, you have a limited amount of times, or you have directly tied to resources the ability to fast travel. I like that. Ridgewood, metal shards, which are hard, scrapper lens, ridgewood, awesome. I feels good. So let's go ahead and save our game here. Hop into Bauer's Battle to end the stream. Pick this up. Make this a manual save down the day. Go ahead and hop out to the main menu here. All right. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. First 3 hours of Horizon Zero Dawn in the books, and I got to be honest with you, I am very impressed. Much happier than I expected to be. I mean, I anticipated the game to be solid to play, but I certainly like it a lot more than I was expecting to. And like I said, look, if it's a great game, it's a great game. I'm going to call it as that, whether I'm right or wrong about it. Same with, you know, when I call sports and, you know, I think certain players are not going to do well and then they do great in a game. I'm open and willing to admit when I'm wrong. I think we're very far way away from that, but my first impressions are exceptionally solid. High points, Aloy, who I was determined kind of going into this to only call Alloy because I thought it's just so stupid. It's a Hideo Kojima naming convention, right? Die Hardman, you know, Fat Man. It's just so obvious what they're doing with it, right? But it seems like it's kind of a theme. Rost, I assume, is kind of a play on the term rust. I thought I would hate that kind of thing, and yet her character development and kind of how she's, at least in these opening hours, how she's been developed, I'm thoroughly impressed by. I like her a lot. Her voice actor is excellent. I really like when she found as a kid in those first ruins, she picked up the one audio tape. And there's a guy wishing happy birthday to his kid or whatever in the pre-fall world or whatever, and like I literally felt that genuine excitement from her, that genuine curiosity, or a mixture of those two things in that scene. And even though the guy at the time I thought was like a terrible voice actor, her reaction to it is what made that. Just really endearing in a lot of ways, but also kind of that female empowerment element you have going on with it. They've done it very, very well so far. It feels like she's had to fight and scrap for every inch that she's gotten, and I'm looking forward to seeing her kind of rise above difficult circumstances and kind of you know, become this great action hero, you know, which I know she already is, given that she's a, you know, PlayStation icon. And like I said before, I've always been happy that this is a Sony exclusive that fans love. Even though I'm not a big, you know, have not been a big fan at all of this, I've always, even though it's not been for me, the concept at least, I love guerrilla games, and I just love games that resonate with people. And I've always really enjoyed, like when they announced last year at Sony's show that there was a sequel to this coming out, and I knew fans around the world were going nuts. I was so thrilled for them. I was standing up and clapping because that was like one of the only good things that came out of that show as far as I'm concerned. And I'm all about that, even if I'm not particularly a fan of it. But I really like this character so far. Again, very early, just a few hours in. So she was a highlight. Really enjoyed, obviously, the graphics and the weather system, and I loved the little detail of her kind of like talking when you're picking up certain materials. I don't think I heard her repeat herself once, and I'm sure at some point she will. But I like that she's constantly quibbing and saying different things at a really nice clip in the gameplay. Oh man, does this game feel good in the hands, man, when you're playing this on the controller. I love that the difference between your ranged combat and your spear combat, and the difference between when you're doing the melee combat between your light attacks and your heavy attacks, when she just kind of like hesitates for that minute and then just comes back up with that spear. You can feel the impact of that, and then you can see it visually is it pops significantly more health off of that enemy's health bar. Hitting a, you know, an enemy in a weak point, you know, as I've been talking about tonight, hitting an enemy, you know, in a certain weak point and then having that pop off as a, you know, some loot for you to pick up, but also taking enemies down in one shot if you hit them just right in the center of their eyeball. The combat looks awesome. It feels great. So, oh, and also the music and the sound design. Hearing the difference between a Sawtooth and a Watcher. And early on in the first cutscene of the game, when I got a chill, and I showed you guys on stream, I got a chill because the music was swelling and it was really cool. And you had the vocals, you know, going on. Love that. Always love the angelic vocals. You know, but kind of you mix that sound design in there with it. I mean, that Sawtooth felt like the T-Rex approaching from Jurassic Park. I mean, you could almost feel that vibration through the center of your core. So they've just done, Guerrilla's done just an amazing job with the sound design, and the soundtrack sounds great, which is really nice. And I really like, from an exploration standpoint, kind of that Metroid Division-like feel in that first Metal World ruin or whatever that you explored, and just kind of how different it felt down there versus when you come back up to the surface, and it's just, you know, it's like going from like this highly advanced holographic technology, you know, this advanced technology, to just like the Stone Age, you know. And that was really cool. I didn't expect that I would like that, but you had like a dash of Metroid in there with a heavy dose of the Division, like I mentioned earlier. And I'm just really impressed with the mixture and the different influences from these big games, but how they're kind of putting their own spin on it and kind of, you know, doing their own thing with it. I've really enjoyed that so far. Negatives, super cliche in a lot of ways. So the idea, like the whole tutorial, we've seen a million times. The voice acting, outside of Aloy, really could use some help. The script is not good at all. Things that are assumed, they say out loud, almost as if the audience is stupid and doesn't understand it. It's kind of my biggest issue with like the new Mortal Kombat movie, which is great for what it is, but as a film itself, it does that all the time, where, you know, there are all these instances where things are implied and like it's just inherently, by what you've shown, known to the audience. You don't have to have the character then say it, right? So there's kind of a lot of that here. I'm really not impressed at all with the script. You know, the robot dinosaur aspect, I'm still, maybe once I learn more about them, I'll get a little bit more interested, or maybe it'll help alleviate that, but I'm still just, it's just not a concept for me. I do like the way that they behave differently. I like, you know, how you can visually see the different alert statuses and those types of things. But there was that cutscene in her training montage where she like went underneath the one Watcher and she was pulling her bow back, and that robot dinosaur was like in slow motion. I was just like, oh, this needs to be on the cringe subreddit. And I like cringe. Like I seek out cringe. Like I want to be in the fetal position, like with the remote, like turning off. Like I can't. Almost like when you eat a warhead and like your tongue, like you just you ball up, you get in the fetal position inside of your own mouth. Like I like cringe like that, but it was, yeah, there were certain parts, like the Lion King part in the beginning where they hold her up and the sun's coming up and they're on a peak and everything, and then like a tribeswoman comes out, it's like, that's not allowed, and then she like marks her like that. Not very creative, not well acted. But at the end of the day, that's not really all that important. I think certainly the positives, surprisingly for me, have far outweighed the benefits. I really like also the day-night cycle, or the weather cycle, and kind of like the little details and the little flares like I talked about. So certainly far more impressed than I was anticipating. And I think it's kind of, I played through this, you know, I think some of these aspects have the ability, or they may become stale over time. We'll see. I'm thoroughly impressed though with what I just played. Exceptionally solid. And I got to be honest with you, I'll be damned. I'm looking forward to playing this again next week, guys, with you, or maybe even before then. Because I told you in my video, I'm only going to play this on stream. My whole journey with this game will be captured on stream as I kind of play through it. So I might have to stream more often if this kind of gets its hooks in me. We'll see. You know, but yeah, no, I think this is a really good start to what's going to be a great experiment overall. And then it will culminate, of course, once I do finally get through this, which I understand it's a massive game. You know, it might take me months, guys, to get through this with you, but like I said, I'll make another video. We'll kind of have that first video, how I felt going in, and then on the other side coming out, we'll see what it looks like. But very impressed. And again, I you know, in all my joking around and you know, in my opinions of the game, those types of things, for comedic effect, I'll be fairly harsh, where I'm like, oh, I jest, but I'm not, but I don't, you know. But none of that's an attack, or, you know, none of that's an attack or a, I don't want that to ever be perceived as a slight on Guerrilla Games, who I respect and adore, in their work, because it's objectively exceptional work. But in particular, the gamers, you guys out there who have played this game, who love it, who are excited for the sequel, and adore this franchise and love it. I that to me is where my heart is. Like, I love when people just play games and love it. Regardless of what I personally think of that game, it's totally irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Same with other people. Like, you could be playing, like, I don't care if you love Superman 64. I mean, if you legitimately love Superman 64, though, you need to get help. But, you know, in general, you know, like Nier, great example. When this game came out, I freaking loved it, man. Like, I was over the moon about it. I thought it was great. It had issues, a couple issues, but like, especially the trophies, because trophies were fairly new back then, and like, it was just common that on PS3 you know, your trophies would glitch. So I lost out, I think, on like 3/4 of my trophies for my first run in that game. But it was special, and I knew it was special, and it resonated with me, and I loved it. And seeing all of the reviews coming out saying 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 6.5, it for me, I wouldn't say it was a wake-up call, because I had kind of already been around, you know, I'd already been aware of the fact that journalists, you know, and reviewers were compromised in a lot of ways, or influenced. But it did bother me that none of my friends had played that game and they knew it, and then seeing it get a revival all these years later is special. Seeing Nier Automata come out and become a worldwide phenomenon was awesome. It was well deserved. It was long overdue, but seeing that this game get re-released for a new generation is just so awesome. But had that never happened, it wouldn't have mattered, because all that mattered is that I loved that game. I enjoyed that game, and it meant a lot to me. And I spent a lot of time playing that game. That meant the world to me, because I had other things going on in my life, and it was a nice escape from that. All I care about, and I don't want any of you guys to ever feel like you know, and I will talk harshly on things like this. I've talked for 4 years pretty harshly on robot dinosaurs. Give me a freaking break. You know, that's just me speaking on behalf of myself. If you tell me you love Horizon Zero Dawn, it's your favorite game of all time, my response will be, that's awesome. I love it. Enjoy it. Play the hell out of it. And don't care about what I think or other people think. All I care about and I'm invested in is people putting time into this medium and getting value out of it. Because this medium has done so much for me in my life. It's helped me become the person that I am today. I watched it from, I mean, I remember playing Solar Jetman on regular Nintendo, and I still to this day haven't beaten it. Some of my earliest memories in life were playing like Solar Jetman and Double Dragon and some of those games, and Final Fantasy and Myst, and watching it grow into this medium that it is now has just been such a privilege and an honor. And I just want people to engage with it, because there's still so many people out there that that don't take games seriously. They think it's still a hobby, like as if Tetris and Pong are still the only options for people out there. But games tell stories, man, and they're art even more so, I think, than films and a lot of other, or at least comparable music, those kinds of things. All I care about is that people interact with games, and that they resonate with them, and that they take an interest in the medium. So you know, regardless of the videos that I put out where I'm obviously a little hard on certain things, just kind of always take that with a grain of salt. And if you know me, I know you already are aware of this, but wanted to state that anyway. So we're at 3 minutes and 10. Yeah, 3 minutes. Yeah, we're at 3 minutes. 3 hours and 10 minutes. It's a solid stream tonight. Often I'll play a little bit longer, but the first 3 hours of Horizon is in the books. It was fantastic. I appreciate you guys spending the time with me, watching my videos. Keep an eye out next week. I think I'm going to talk a little bit about Wasteland 3. And if I can, maybe I'll release my thoughts on Resident Evil 8 and why I will not be getting it on opening day next Friday, which will be the first Resident Evil main title I haven't gotten in a while. Well, that's not true, because Resident Evil 2 I didn't get right away. In fact, a friend of mine got it for me because I was putting it off for over a year, and he's like, no, you need to play it before then. And that was a good call, by the way. So thank you, Davey. But yeah, I got a lot to excuse me, I got a lot to say, and you know, it takes time to do these videos. And I figure instead of spending 40 hours doing a 20-minute video, I'll just start doing 5-minute videos with minimal editing and get some things out like I did here a few days ago. So expect more activity on my channel. Expect a weekly stream of some sort, whether it's on Friday or Saturday or maybe even a Sunday. The goal will be to stream every week and get a video out every week. And then hopefully once I get consistent with that and I work out some other things in my personal life, I can continue to build from that point and see what we can do. But until then, guys, have an awesome weekend. Seriously, reach out anytime. You can reach me at BauerKillz@yahoo.com. I am on Twitter. Unfortunately, it's the same thing, BauerKillz. I don't post super often there, but I do post. I'm trying to post more often. So if you want to follow me there, that's cool. Haven't come back to Instagram in ages, just because their terms of service is literally insane. You give them full access to your life. But yeah, hit me up. Let me know what your thoughts are. Comment here. And thank you for your support, your kind words. And if you haven't already, do me a favor. If you like what you see, like the video, subscribe to the channel. That really helps with the algorithm, gets me out there to more people. And then over time, over the course of probably years, that'll get me to enough people where maybe I can start to, you know, get my message out to other people and start sharing my thoughts on these things with people and help them with, you know, cutting through some of the BS that exists today with, I mean, it's just so hard to find an honest opinion or an objective opinion. Everyone's got an agenda, it seems like, whether it's to tear a certain game down for one reason or another, or, you know, I'll share my thoughts, but I will always give you objectivity as well, so that you can know, even if 50 critics say, oh, this game's a 6.5 out of 10, oh, it's 6.5 out of 10, I can say this game is not only worth your time, but it should be worth everybody's time because of these reasons. And then one day it becomes a huge, massive worldwide phenomenon because people are 10 years late to the party. I guess more like 8. But I want to be a resource for you out there to just get legitimate thoughts on games without having to worry about any of the BS that comes with everything in today's world, right? So reach out anytime. We'll talk here soon. Have a great weekend. God bless you all out there. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you on the next stream. Take care.